We're cutting this
Oh,
out.
this is a big.
I was like, this is how it's
We
started.
can't. All right, welcome to this
we
round
can't
on
be
me.
Don't need to clap. You already asked it.
Today's gonna be the really shitty episode. We're gonna
Whoa!
have-
Whoa.
we have. Okay, Franz, you tell us the premise of this episode.
These are whiskeys I have liked at the start, but have fallen out of love with, except for this last one. I'll tell you a little bit more, but this is a whiskey I really want to like, not just because of it being expensive, but yeah, I just don't like it ever.
You drank this much
I
trying
drank
to like it.
half of it trying to like it, so yeah.
It's like when they say like you can put $100 into Dota before you actually start liking this.
100
It's
hours
the
is
right one,
like
man. Just
baby
like
shit.
Yeah.
yeah. Fuck that.
No, that's my
Well,
second bottle.
This is
Okay.
This is my second bottle. So these two I've had second bottles of. I've had multiple batches of this, and I have multiple bottles of this. Yeah.
Cool. So I guess we're just gonna go around and introduce ourselves. So we have all of our local PT or PQ winners this time around, and it just so happens that 3 of them are from a new team, a new-ish team, Metal Fab Tokens. Right, you guys can introduce yourselves.
Yeah.
Austin, you wanna go first?
I guess. So my name is Austin Kim. I won technically 2 Pro Quests this season on 1 on each hero. So just goal, I guess, was to get on 2 Hall of Fames.
Yeah, just humble brag.
Yeah,
Humble brag.
He was the resident scoop the buddies in
Yeah.
person this season.
Yeah.
Actually
So,
true.
Arguably, I did not win or did not lose a tournament by games. So anything that I lost, it was by just conceding. So
You can't beat me. I
Yeah.
quit.
It's
so good.
Four local PQs in a row.
Oh, it's pretty good.
Which is
So
fun.
good.
not too bad. But then still suck at Battle Hearts.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm Caleb or Majin Bay, I guess,
Yeah.
depending on who I'm talking to.
That's the dude.
I play card games.
Plays Kano.
I play Kano.
You're the
Yeah,
gamer?
Yeah, wrestling Kano.
yeah, I've been playing Kano since Eyesighter rotated,
Yeah.
and then I was playing Kano before that a little bit as well. And really just kind of like, I just had a very fortunate early season. I racked up like 4 PTIs, and then like ProQuest win and stuff like that. So it's just a good season for me.
You were on fire this season.
I was on fire this season,
Yeah.
and they printed a whole hero and keep it so I stopped.
It's pretty funny because I remember you saying at the beginning of the season, like, man, I really wish I had a PTI.
Yeah. I was like, I have to use my last one,
Mhm.
and then yeah.
I'm Jeremiah. I'm the resident scrub of the gang.
I would say that.
Well, I'm newish to the game. I played Magic for a very, very long time, traveling the country. Got up to a pro tour for that to go to Japan. Started Flesh and Blood a year ago. Didn't really take it seriously, which we'll probably go into a little later this last ProQuest season. But yeah, had some success with the game.
I'm Kyle. I guess I'm the resident Bolton
You
of
are.
NorCal,
You are.
which,
Yeah.
I mean, I'll take that title. That's
You
fine.
might be the only one, actually.
So like after doing well during the RTN season, I was like, maybe a couple Final Cut guys would be like, oh, let's hop on Bolton, let's see what happens. And then I show back up to an event, there's no Boltons but me. I'm just like, all right, so I guess we're just playing this hero. And then I guess the only PQ I won was when you guys didn't show up. So and the finals was Bolton beat Bolton, so that was just an odd day. I think, in
But it's
general.
like not a true Bolton. What Reese
Yeah,
is playing.
Reese was on Hatchet's
He's
side.
dude.
he
No
is
sabers between
Yeah.
both.
He
Sorry,
is
Reese.
hooking with that
Yeah.
deck. Let me
It's true,
tell
though.
you, I
It's
was shaking in my boots.
It's okay, you got it.
I got it.
Yeah.
It's like
And-
spicy during the.
Yeah.
All right, Miles.
Hello. Yeah, I technically did not win either. I split and I took the loss to the person who could get the PQ.
Yeah, nice goal.
It's a recurring
Yeah,
story.
That's why you're over here.
But then the next PQ, we played each other actually, and then I won. So
Yeah.
that counts. Yeah.
So you won.
Yeah.
But
And-
yeah, I previously playing Dash, and then I was like, my Kasai cards got here after a month. Shout out Hemel, UPS, really bad this time. And I showed up PQ playing Kasai and then won. So like
Did you play
my
like
first day of Kasai ever.
just sabers?
Yeah. And then I just 3 in a row, Kasai top 8. Lose to him, lose to everybody else. Top 8.
Well, your loss to him allowed me to win
Yeah.
mine. So
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Good now.
France Oliver, you guys want to talk about your records this season, I guess? I don't know.
I just played Azalea. I got 4 top 8s, and that was it.
Gaming.
Yeah. Oliver, how many top 8s do you get? I'm watching my kid. Okay, good to know.
Oh my god.
I got 1 top 8 because I'm a scrub. Oh, you got 2 top 8s.
You got 2 top 8s. You knocked me out of 1
Oh, he's at PQs.
Oh, PQs.
Oh,
Battleground is
yeah.
different.
Well, I said the PQ's this.
Oh.
Sorry, top 8's this
The
season.
season.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
We'll go back to the tape.
No. 2 top 8s. That's it.
cool. Yeah.
Battle hardened champion.
Battle hard
Yeah,
winners.
Battle hard.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna clap because you beat me.
It's fine. He went like 0 the next PQ. So
No, it is. The
No,
next
it was just arm races that were rough.
Oh yeah.
was
Arm
our-
races.
No,
They
game,
ordered the
game
power
partly
back.
went 0-3, right? Oh no, you went 0-2.
I went 1-3 because I played like Dash IO, then I played Dash, and I played KO, and I played a Kano. The Kano was my win.
I thought you played Kano. I was like,
No, those are like I just played 3 bad matchups in a row, and I was like, oh, okay, this is how it is.
cool. Kano.
So, France, going to go with our first whiskey and our first question.
Well, I thought you wanted to talk about.
Oh yeah, Metal Fab tokens. Let's do that while we're pouring.
Yeah, sure.
So Metal Fab tokens, you guys are relatively new. I know Majin, you used to be on Team Kayfabe Cards with Peter, and I think Austin Yost.
Yeah.
I know when it started, but how did Team Metal Fab tokens start?
Yeah. So Brandon, who runs Metal Fab Tokens, is also local, who wanted to take the game more seriously. Basically,
Mhm.
he's like, I play these events. I don't win these events. I'd like to win more events. And he's pretty big on like fostering a community type thing. So basically, he was like, hey, let's take it more seriously. I'm thinking about starting a team. We'll get sick jackets and joggers, and then everyone will look all.
Wow.
Everyone will look all decked out in like the Metal Fab stuff. We'll practice a bunch and we'll start winning all these events. And then he did, and he came through because we have the coolest outfits.
Yeah.
You guys got 6
Oh
tracks.
my
Yeah.
god!
Those
Yeah.
outfits are sweet.
And then the SAC locals, like I feel like it was because of the team. Like we all started taking it really seriously, which caused other locals to start taking it really seriously. We're all testing there and talking, and I think like the average like skill level and placement of all the like Sacramento guys just like shot up over the course of like.
I have noticed that you guys are showing up in force to their local PQs.
Oh yeah.
You're doing pretty well.
Yeah, so yeah, we had a really good showing, I feel like, this season as our first season as like a team. Patrick went really deep in the Pro Tour. I took second at the calling. Austin, thank you. Austin's been killing ProQuest after ProQuest. Yeah. Hey, there's still ProQuest. They count. Like everyone's been doing really good.
Nice. So France, while you're coming back, why don't you tell us about this whiskey?
So this is Smooth Ambler Old Scout. This is a 5-year-old whiskey. I think this was first released like 3 years ago. This is a bourbon, and this is a single barrel. So I know various stores have it. Like there's this one in particular is from and picked by Total Wine,
And more.
and more. The distillate is from Indiana. It's like classic MGP, if you know what that is. And it's just, I don't know. It doesn't, to me, there's nothing spectacular about it anymore. I really enjoyed it 3 years ago when I first got it, and I opened up the second bottle like a year ago, and as you can tell, I've only had like 2 drinks out of it.
Dang.
So I want to know what you guys.
Would you say you've acquired taste or lost taste? As
I think I
between
have learned to nitpick more out of like what I'm drinking, and it makes things less complex to me.
So
I
we're
see.
going right to left.
We're going here.
right to left. Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
And you are welcome to pour more if you want more.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers.
We have
Yeah.
Look at you guys.
Just do.
just
blink
hit
twice.
like
We're good.
1%, maybe.
This is barrel strength. I believe this is like 56 or 58%.
Yeah. That's. Ooh.
Yeah.
So. I'm crying because it's so strong, not because of allergies.
This is gonna be a good video.
All right. First question is, I think a lot of people actually said what heroes they were playing already, but I'd like you guys to reiterate that, and I also would like to know how you think what hero you played will fare into the Miss Veil meta.
Yeah.
Or what you into the meta you expect, or into the heroes, So let's start from Oliver's side.
I play Prism mostly. I played a little bit of Azuri recently. I also play like Azalea and I don't know, whatever I want.
I played Azalea.
I played Azalea.
Right.
I pour out some armies on Azalea.
That's armories.
I
That's
know.
So far.
Yeah. Hey, if I
playing
can win
Azuri
an
now.
armory with Prism, and I can win an armory with Azalea, I think that says something.
That's how it is. I can't win armories with Kano either.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm on just like whatever I feel like playing. But I feel like Prism might be fine in the current meta, but I'm gonna go swap to Enigma for a bit, just because like new heroes. Yeah, I love blue cards.
Yeah. Way better than yellow cards.
One whole pitch better.
I don't need a chess piece to make them.
Yeah.
Oh, true.
cards.
Actually,
Yeah,
yeah.
That's pretty much it.
You kind of pioneered the Iris switchboard. I feel like. Or
Uh,
it
I think
wasn't after- you
popularized it.
popularized it.
Yeah.
Like I didn't see anybody playing it outside of like the first like week when lag came out. People were like, "Oh, we'll do a switchboard," and then everyone else got off it, and then
You were
when
very
the battle
stubborn.
hardened. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, back when Prism was first released, I was only on Iris. It was
Yeah.
like it was
The
like
other
only
one was kind of troll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I did have Luminars in for like the Las Vegas calling,
Mhm.
just because like Drama you can still like try and loot them, but it's a lot easier to set up with the new Luminars.
I remember it was what's it called? It was like second week of Monarch meta is when you won your first PQ with Prism,
RTN.
RTN with Prism, and that's when people started actually playing the auras. When people were on Herald aggro and like losing.
Yeah. And it turns out the yellow ores are pretty good.
Yeah.
Spec has a good mechanic.
I don't know about good, but strong. We'll go with strong.
Strong, yeah.
When they were
Yeah.
0 cost, 1 attack go agains.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Disgusting.
But we didn't have the Everfest stuff back then, so it was a lot harder to.
You didn't need that for stuff.
I know. I also agree.
It's like take one. Oh, take one from
Tyler
Merciful.
Horspool won Las Vegas calling by just blocking chains. This is when Chain had seeds. So
Yeah.
I honestly think that people just did not know how to play.
no, I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
I have this like seared into my brain is old Prism going 1 or 2 go again, 1 or 2 go again, because if they hit the Odorat, does 1 or 2 go again, 1 or 2 go again, 1 or 2 go again. Awful.
Yeah. Miles?
Yeah, I've been playing Dash, like original Dash, for like 3 years, off and on. I just like cope. I'm like, I play pure aggro. I do not like pistol, which is not the reason to play Dash. Like, I should be playing a different hero then. But just aggro Dash, and then every once in a while I do bad, and then I go, oh, I hate this. I'm gonna play something else, and then like a month later, I'm like, oh, Dash again. I think this is Dash meta. Let's go, guys. So I played Dash like the Calling, and then the Battle Harden, and then I got Kasai cards in the mail finally, and then I just played Kasai for the last 3 pro quests. I also judged the pro quest that Kyle won, so
Yeah. You were there.
I like judging.
it's fun. I get to chill out and hang out with people and
We're looking pretty good into
watch
that
and
MC
go,
meta.
ooh, misplay. I wouldn't
Yeah.
have done that.
We're looking pretty good into the MST meta. We have more power now. Can
Yeah.
more power.
Yeah.
We'll talk.
You guys ever like did a deck check and like look at their cards when after they sideboard and go, you sideboard that card in?
No, I don't make any judgments.
No
I feel like
judgments.
because like usually what I do is we're on top tables, so we don't. So usually we don't see bad decks. Yeah.
The classic
Except for when
Ichin
I'm in the top
used
tables.
to do to bully me was he would come do deck checks, and then he would come and he'd be like, "Hey, I need to talk to you. You're good."
It's the best part about judging. You just gotta like freak people out. You just like just pausing before you like talk to somebody makes people freak out. It's very powerful.
You show them
Yeah,
like
certain-
your tokens.
it
Like,
is-
why is one rainbow?
Yeah, it's important as the TO to assert dominance over the players. You can do this in very subtle ways.
Yeah,
Put them in their place.
You did that to me, I think, at a game castle in Santa Clara. You're
Yeah.
like, come over here. I was like, God, what did I do? I know I registered everything. You're like, did you know you can't count? I was like, oh, that's not good. You're like, you're good.
That reminds me of the story with Steven.
Yeah.
Our locals.
We can get that one later.
He registered 78 cards.
Yeah.
And he just, how do you sideboard? He's like, what do you mean? Yeah.
Because if you count, it's the whole idea is that if you count down when you sideboard, like when you just takes stuff out, that means you've been playing with a legal deck.
Yeah, if you,
But-
it's like I make sure I have 10 cards out of my sideboard. at the
Yep.
time.
But coming up, I'll probably play new because I played Azuri briefly
Wait, when new hero?
during Alexa. It's
When new hero?
New.
gonna be a long. But yeah, I'm
There's like
gonna
a
play
three of them,
new.
dude.
Yeah.
There's 3 new heroes.
Yeah,
4 if
looking
it
forward to
counts.
that. So
I feel like I'm gonna be the drunk one at the end of this.
Good.
Maybe. Probably. Actually, yeah.
All right.
Okay, you're not
France, you
Uh,
want to take it or what?
Yeah. I played all of Azalea. I still like Azalea.
It's good.
I think it's pretty good, potentially into Enigma, and very good into Zen, but I am worried about new.
I mean,
excellent.
Azuri was like probably not your favorite matchup, right?
No, it was not, but I was still able to get the win against Oliver, even if he was inexperienced into the matchup.
Resident
like,
Missouri player.
I was still felt very dominating in that
I fucking threw.
game.
I'm still sad about it.
I'm sorry, I didn't.
It's okay, don't worry.
I didn't carry you on your way back.
Yeah, it's all good.
Well, I know everyone's wondering, how is Bolton gonna do in the new meta? And like honestly, as long as the new -1 cards aren't like 3 turns in a row, I think it'll be okay. It kind of just slaps up Enigma because you just go, here's 20 damage a turn, here's 20 damage a turn, here's 20 damage a turn. Oh, you're out of deck, here's 20 damage a turn. And then that's just what it is. And then New doesn't rip anything off his deck that he really cares about unless it's Beacon or Lumina. Then New can't play it anyways. So unless I start putting blues into the deck, which I have thought of, I mean they wouldn't be like powerful blues, it'd be like blue Bolt of Courage.
Take
Like,
my blue, get him.
Are you worried about her like hand disruption at all?
I am, but at the same time, like if I'm looking at my hand and I go, all right, this hand disruption is going to rip 1 card in my hand. I really want to keep this power card in my hand. If I want to block and I guess wrong, I'm dead anyways. Like if I lose tempo, it's really hard to take a full damage turn and come back with something relevant. So I'll just say no blocks and hope.
Right.
Sounds good.
Right.
Call it the Phi technique.
Yeah, it's just like you're gonna have to have it. Sorry.
Draw 4 cards, put them face down. Will not block.
Okay, so I played Dromai for a year incorrectly. I'll admit that. Dromai LL'd after the first Pro Quest of this season, and I was scrambling for a new hero. And this gentleman here was like, you should play Kano.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
you. You should play Kano. So I looked at the Kano. I played the Battle Hardened. I played Victor for that one because we have one of the best Guardian players in our team. And he gave me a lot of tips on that on the drive to San Francisco from Sacramento. And I lost to Betsy. I think that kind of solidifies how well I did with Victor. At the Pro Quest, I played Kano, had a lot of fun with it, just blasting people. Didn't do well, but I had fun blasting people. Miscounting and just casting spells.
And just standing behind him, you're like,
So then I played Kano again out of the Pro Quests. Didn't do well. Got smashed by a KO and a Kano player in that one as well.
I was King of Player.
And I was the Kano player.
Yeah.
So I said, hey, I need to switch to a different hero. So I played KO, switched totally around by a letter. And the deck is so broken that I just ended up smashing people's faces.
It's fair.
So
We spent 3 months telling this guy to pick one deck and stick with it. And he's like, yeah, I'm sticking with this deck. And then next week, yeah, I'm sticking with this deck. Next week, yeah, I'm going to stick with this deck.
Austin made a stipulation that I'm not allowed to switch decks until I top 8.
So you did. So you changed.
And then I did. I was like, I gotta do well. So I took KO to the Pro Quest on Saturday at Final Cut. Didn't top 8, missed it when I went in, and then just smashed people's faces the next day.
I think you'll like New.
New is what I'm working on right now, so we might want to talk about that one a little bit. But New's interesting.
She's cool. All the heroes are really cool.
I think they've all got their they attack on a different axis, which is really cool. I think so.
Yeah.
So
I played Kano to quite
Yeah.
to quite a bit of success. Just pure normal tempo Kano. I feel like people are mostly when they think of Kano now think of pitch deck Kano, especially depending on what deck they play. But I never really pitch deck people because I was like, these matchups are so good for me anyway. And in calling LA, I ended up taking second. Almost died, but took second. Lost to a Kasai, and I was like, that's never happening to me ever again. So I spent the next 2 weeks learning how to pitch deck Kano, and then kind of just came out like guns blazing after that. Because I just it was Kano at that time was so weird because most people weren't good enough with KO into Kano yet for it to be like a bad matchup, or weren't respecting it enough. And then you had all Guardians, all Warriors, and Assassins were just super free because you could just pitch deck them. Except maybe Bolton sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
So yeah, it was just really good for me. And then we knew there was a Blusionist coming out, and so I was like, I have to get all my Kano reps in now, all my Kano games in, because it's gonna get shelved. I'm like, maybe it won't be that bad. And then they're like, she has to do with Ward. And I'm like, okay, it's over. Today, actually, or last night, no, it was today. Prepped some games Enigma into Kano just to see, right? Just to see if there's possibly some way to do it. We built the entire Kano deck around beating Enigma, and it was not close.
What do you try? Like Waning Moon stuff, or
Yeah, it was like, so we're gonna try like just Crucible stuff and just like getting lucky
Mhm.
next time, because that's like an actual strategy you have to use with Kano sometimes.
Mhm.
But we did like all 1-for-4s and Waning Moon,
Mhm.
just to try to like get over the 3 break point, and like you end up Waning Mooning. The play pattern is often like, okay, draw up. It's the Enigma's player's turn, and they go, okay, ward thing, attack you, and Kano's like, well, I can't let this be Wounded Bull, so I'm gonna activate Kano and try to hit something, and then Waning Moon you and hope it gets through your AB and stuff to kill the ward, stop your go again. And usually the game, or what we've been seeing, is that the game plays out where they do like 15 points of damage and then they never do another point. The game goes on like 10 more turns, but they never do damage ever again.
I see.
So it might be time for me to
Yeah, that's
let
rough.
the boy go.
For now.
But you're joining the dark side, right? You're joining the dark side.
Yeah, well, okay, so I love Wizards so much, and I hate Illusionists, but I do like blues and instant speed things, and decks that get more powerful the later the game goes. And Enigma is all of those. So
Yeah.
I'm actually really enjoying her. I think I played like 25, 30 games. Probably. That's today
car
on
right
the
now.
drive here. It was a 3-hour drive. I sat in the back seat and played Tower on my phone the whole time.
Nice.
Yeah, I was asleep most of the time for the car right here. Try not to die.
KO players, man, they don't practice.
Yeah, I guess we could start with that. Since the heavy hitters like got released and spoiler wise, so our TN season as far back, where we started building on a KO deck and really trying to refine on the aggressive aspect of it. So shout outs to my teammate Eric Revier Sneap, that kind of introduced it, and then John Lupine Fiasco and I kind of refined it to be a little bit better. And then we've been just playing that ever since, and just got to a point where it's like it is arguably the best deck in the format right now.
I mean, results look like that, right?
Yeah, and the results are showing that it's already halfway down the hall, right? So kept playing it until the point where this guy over here said, I want to play the broken deck this time. So I was like, all right, fine. What do I have left? So there's Victor remaining, so I started. So that's kind of like what I like to do in like any competitive season is have like a primary hero and then like backup hero. And I just like try not to do more than 2. So yeah, KO and Victor were the 2 since we have multiple people on our team that play Brute and Guardian. So it's really easy to like kind of share notes and figure out which ones to play, and then just casually went at Pro Quest right after like playing 10 games of Victor total in that season. Just
Just roll up.
My favorite factoid about the KO deck building is that so many Kanos talk to me about how they're pitch stacking all the KOs. And then I was like, you can't pitch stack my locals. And then they come to our Pro Quest
so many times.
and they sit down against like, you or John,
Yeah.
and they like present balance and they're going to pitch stack them. And they're like, I pitch stacked every single KO. I've never once lost. I'm like, it's not going to work. and then they lose and they're like, ah, I was so close. And I was like, yep. And they're like, next time. And I'm like, no.
Yeah, we warn people too. It's like it's no secret. It's like you should just play the regular, try to rip the combo off the top, and just go for it on like turn 3, 4.
It's a classic 60-60 matchup.
Yeah,
It's a 60-60 match.
60-60.
Yeah.
It's not 60 for Kano. It's
But yeah, as far as for Misfail goes, I was hoping Zen would be cool, but then feels like it's on the same power level as Katsu, if not less. With the initial card spoiled, like it seems prone to like crush effects from Guardian, and it's very like bland damage, and like Oliver was talking about earlier, it's like not many on hit effects, right? It's just raw damage. So
Triple Bonds is good.
Triple Bonds is good, but like
And the only thing that Zen's got is that on attack, not on hit, for
Yeah.
getting a bunch of taggers. So like it might be able to go wider without having on hits, but who knows?
Maul's pretty good.
yeah,
Maul's pretty good.
but since KO's still technically best deck, I guess we could stay in there for now. But I'm kind of open to like trying to play any deck that can be good. So pretty open. New and Enigma do seem cool.
They
Yeah.
are so cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'll let my teammates figure that out. I'll just get in that bag again too.
All right.
All right.
Next
Move
one.
on to the second one.
Wait, do I have 6 mix strings?
Yes.
What is this? By the way? You didn't.
That is an espresso martini.
It's really good.
I portioned all of them down so they're only equivalent to 1 ounce of alcohol.
Espresso martini.
Yeah. So when I'm drinking the same amount of whiskey as all of you guys, and also a mixed drink,
And a mixture.
Yes.
it's gonna
You don't have to drink the whiskey.
Yeah, you
But
know.
I,
No, you don't have to drink the whiskey.
be part of the experience.
Yeah, true.
Wait, you're drinking the whiskey too?
He was.
You see what's
I like to have like just a little bit,
he has FOMO.
but I'll never have like a second drink.
Two
of
drink
brown
monsters.
Damn, this guy's such a
Legendary on
gamer.
Twitter.
He's like double upping on drinks.
Oh,
He's just trying to relive
time
his
to drive
day
back.
before
Yes.
the
Oh,
calling
man,
day
I was-
too.
The backseat.
famously gone very well for me.
That's an empty one, right?
Losing to Michael Hamilton in draft picture.
I was just walking around at an event in like Richmond, and someone was like, "Make sure you drink water."
Oh,
I was like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, "Well, you know, because the alcohol poisoning."
Is that better or worse than people saying sorry that Legends of Runeterra died?
I like having the Legend of Runeterra one. That one cracks me up because the hand on the shoulder. People
First time I saw
hand
you
on
on
the
the
shoulder.
day.
Sorry about LOR, man.
Repping it today too.
Yeah, I got the LOR shirt. I got the LOR backpack and everything. I was feeling sad today because I couldn't play it. I was like
Just
streaming
outdoor
Magic,
decks.
and I was like, man, this sucks.
Yeah, true. Actually,
All right, so why did you fall out of love with this?
so I will say this one I would drink out of all of these in comparison.
Okay.
To me, this was like the first big whiskey, like rare whiskey that I ever bought. Because it's a 12-year barrel proof like bourbon, which is pretty high for a bourbon. But like the first one, it kind of just got bland for me.
I see this often on multiple friends' shelves that like bourbon.
Really?
Yeah, 1792. Yeah.
Okay.
It's easy to know.
This is the
It's a cool bottle.
foolproof one. So like they have various ones like sweet wheat and
What does that mean?
which one?
What does foolproof mean?
Foolproof means like very high proof. So like they'll do buzzwords like barrel strength or foolproof.
Because usually they take it out of the barrel and add water to lower the proof.
okay.
And
Yeah,
this is
that's
straight from the barrel
sure.
to the bottle.
Yeah.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers. Yeah.
Arizona shot.
Can I grab Martin's mixed drink?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before I leave,
knew.
though, what are you most excited for with the new set? And what are you least excited for? And this could be anything about like the hero, the format that you expect, the metagame, a singular card, like an expansion card.
Okay. We'll do Austin first then.
So favorite and least favorite.
Favorite? I think limited looks to be really fun, especially with the new rules with like only 30 cards, right?
Yeah.
That makes it real fun. Like we can't just like fat stack and like fatigue people to that. I think it might still be possible actually, right?
Yeah.
Because it's smaller decks.
Assassin's got a lot more.
Yeah. Assassin has like an insane amount of blockers than the other two sets.
And they just like eat cards from you. Also.
Assassin looks to be the default for sealed right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's always
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
It's usually like good weapon, a lot of block threes. That's like
Good open a lot of block threes and easy to build.
Yeah.
Easy to build, like
Not a huge
cards make sense.
power level disparity
Mhm.
between individual cards.
Go against
Yeah.
stuff like that.
You don't need specific.
But yeah, that seems like the high point for me because I haven't really chose a path to constructive lives for MST.
Mhm.
But that being said, I think it's going to be dangerous potentially that if Enigma is good and it gets to be like a broken level, then like we've all seen what heat illusions can do. Look at Oliver.
I've never played Illusions.
I will say she seems so much more fun to play into.
Yeah, but I do miss having broken.
Old Prism, come on. This is not a high bar.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I was like Stockholm syndrome with Oliver. 'Cause I was like, it's my friend, but this is awful. But I was like, this is fun because we're gaming. So
Just hanging out.
At least you get to play your cards. They just don't do damage.
Yeah.
That's just what it is.
I do like having broken heroes.
Yeah.
Like right now, it's like seems
Yeah.
very, very much because it's all damage based.
Sounds good.
dig it.
I'm really looking forward to the new hero, but just the new like set. All the way the heroes are built is really interesting. I think it's not like plug and play type stuff. It's not just like hurt or damage, heavy hitters, which is like not my play style at all. I like to do interesting things. I like to play blues, instant speed stuff. So I'm really looking forward to Enigma. Really looking forward to new being in the format. I just think Misspell's like just a cool set, and I'm stoked to like double dip in the limited for Nationals and the Pro Tour because I need all the help I can get.
Yeah.
What I'm not looking forward to is shelving Kano, being forced to shelve Kano. I mean, Kano's probably like a top 3 deck of all time in all card games for me, and so having to put that down feels really bad.
What was your other top two?
Grixis Delver,
Mm-hmm.
Magic the Gathering.
Wait, hold up. What format?
all of them.
Okay.
It's the same deck, just with different cards, and
Better
it's always
lands.
fun.
It's all
Yeah,
it
better
is.
lands. You get Brainstorm sometimes, and sometimes you don't. Sometimes you play Death Shadow, sometimes you don't. And then
Oh, that's a different deck.
it's synchro.
Umbrella.
It plays Delver and it plays blue cards. That's all here.
And then the other one is a Runeterra deck where it's Seraphine, Mischievous Mirai combo, where it's just like it's the storm of Legend of Runeterra. It's
I was gonna pick you for Zoe, saying Zoe.
Zoe's probably my outside of Seraphine. Zoe's my favorite champion in Legend of Runeterra. I have a big mat that the Legend of Runeterra devs gave me. That's just a Zoe level 2 art, and it says Madre Bay on that.
Oh wow,
Nice.
Wow. Nice parting gift.
Yeah. They gave us a lot of those actually, which was nice of them, but sad at the same time.
Yeah, because I assume you got it at the big event. they
At the
had,
event,
right?
yeah. At the when we went to the
Yeah.
That's why I like this too.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm excited for this being the actual first set where I'm taking the game seriously, where I can brew. I played Magic, like I said, for 20 years. I love to brew Magic decks. I've not found success brewing in the Fab Architect. I don't know the card pool as vastly as some of my peers. This is the first time I feel like I've got a grasp of what the content of the deck the hero is doing. I'm focused on new and really understanding kind of the meta and trying to understand that. So understanding, playing the game and getting used to the different mechanics. So this is really a pinnacle point of where I'm feeling like I'm understanding the game a lot better than I was, say, 2-3 months ago.
Nice.
Since I started taking the game very, very seriously now. The thing I'm not excited for is building a deck from scratch that I have no idea what to do with. I think there's a lot going on right now. There's a lot of bigger brain people out there, especially in the assassin's hero archetype, that I feel like there's just things that I'm not grasping yet. And because a lot of the people on the team aren't assassin mains, they don't know those tips and tricks. So that's one thing that I struggled with when I played Dromai, was there's not a lot of Dromai mains up in SAC. They mostly played Wizard or Kano or KO, sorry. So again, learning the nuances within the hero is what makes you one level higher than the normal armory player.
Yeah.
So I think that's something that I'm worried about, but excited to learn.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of skill expression in the tech cards for Fab, where you just like, it's even more than Magic, where like your tech cards just like change up your whole game plan, like just like define a deck so well that you can definitely like, maybe not, it's like not freeform decking, but like the brewing tweaking aspect is definitely very rewarding.
I think the biggest difference between Magic and Fab that I've noticed between the two at a professional level is the sideboard options you have in Fab give you a percentage, maybe 2. In Magic, they would give you 10, 20, 30%. But you get to see the cards in Fab way more often as you get to cycle through the deck way often. So when you talk about a 55-45 matchup, the tech cards can give an exponential win ratio to the right deck. Whereas in Magic, like a red deck win's never going to lose to certain decks, right? So there's that kind of metagaming there, which I think with Fab introduces the skill of knowing the matchups, knowing the opponent's heroes. That knowledge is much more significant than if I took a blue-white control deck to a Magic Grand Prix. I'll just smash people because I know what my deck is supposed to do, and I just don't let you do what you're doing.
Yep.
And there isn't really that in this outside of Enigma.
So
I will say, when I played new, I played it twice now against Enigma, and I have done -1 damage to both times. So I'm doing something wrong.
So that's what you're not looking forward to, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like Magic has tech cards, and it's like the tech cards are the power or whatever.
Exactly.
Like
Yeah.
you play Rest in Peace against Franche, like you're gonna win the game.
Still needs to.
Most of
But
the time, like, yeah.
But like in Flesh and Blood, it's like you have to. It's how you play the tech cards.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Or like if I give you a Prism list and then you sideboard how you're supposed to, but you don't know that you're aiming to loop Dromai or whatever, you're gonna struggle. Like, it's not gonna work.
Or even understand how the loop works. Is really
yeah,
intricate.
it's like that stuff is really, really important in Flesh and Blood. Watching, especially, I feel like with the more, I would call them like esoteric classes, like Illusionist and Wizard and stuff. watching people play Dromai late game against like Guardians when it was still being figured out was like so interesting because I mean I don't want to play Dromai, I hate that hero, but like there's 0 blues, I don't want to play it. But it was just like, oh yeah, you have to pitch deck a certain way. You have to remember it's these back in. You have to make sure not to block with this, and then you have to set up this, and that's how you get over.
And I think that was a pinnacle moment because when I played Dromai, you play dragons, you attack. That was the game plan. It wasn't until somebody was like, no, you don't play dragons. You attack, you second cycle dragons, and then you win because they waste all their time. It's like, oh, no one really kind of educated me on that. I mean, Austin did a really good job trying to teach me the basics here and there, but he was, again, more of a group me. So,
Nothing to do with this.
again, learning those nuances is what's really the key part to stepping your game up 1-2 notches.
And it's a big thing with like even matchups that people say like, add Oasis against Kano and you'll be fine. It's like no.
The
telling them that.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't help. Trust me. I saw 3 Oases in a turn. It did not help him.
What the calling Warsaw, the Axe Bolton, he double Oasis to Kano, and the Kano consists like, oh man, that sucks. And I was like, oh, Bolton won. Second pitch that Kano, it just blows him up. I'm like, oh, well, it happens.
Yeah. That Bolton deck did nothing, man.
Dude, I was so excited. I saw my phone. I was like, oh my god, top 8 Bolton. And I looked, I was like, oh man. like I respect you for making top 8, but not this way, man. Not this. Just play Dorinthia Axe. Just make me feel better, please.
She's so good.
Yeah, but just I don't know. I respect it, but I don't.
What are you excited about then?
New is a lot of fun. I loved playing Arachne when I first got into the game. And I was like, it's so cool to rip power cards out of my opponent's hand or off their deck. But then like that's as far as it went. I generate a silver and maybe block an extra time with the silver I generate. But then new is like, oh, you ripped a power card from them. It's a blue. You get to use it against them when you hit second cycle. And Bonds of Agony is such a fun card. I love it so much. You just play it, and then you have just a Nick in your hand. Black text up, and you go, all right, here's 1 damage, and then they look at it and go, what are you doing? What are you doing? And if they don't block, play it. If they do, then well, it's Arsenal Pass.
Yep.
But that's a good name for a podcast.
That is a really good name. I wonder if someone's gonna take that.
Yeah.
But I think my personal testing I've done with it, I mean, I don't know how good Talishar people are with Enigma yet.
No.
They're not. But just I've been playing around with Fanbrace. I mean, I think that's everybody's like generic
You should play it.
tech so far.
It helps.
It helps. It's cool that she has natural like damage can't be prevented cards in her deck.
Is it cool? Is that the word?
It's
we're
cool.
going with?
It's very cool when you're playing against an Enigma. If you're playing as Enigma, not cool.
No, I'm with you. I think decks should have access to things that are good against such polarizing heroes and playstyles. I think that's really important.
Dorinthia has her +1 damage can't be prevented card.
Course of
That everyone's gonna pull out of their bulk. They're gonna try it out, be like, this ain't it, and then just go play a different hero. This card sucks. Let's just go play a different hero. But honestly, least favorite too, Wands of Agony. It's the best and worst card, depending
It's
on
a
if you're
messed
playing
up
it.
card.
It's really messed up.
I'm excited for all the generic assassin cards that got released that you play in like Azuri or Arachne, and I'm least excited for
what hero?
What's up?
What hero?
Azuri or Arachne?
Yeah, no, the second one. What is that?
This really bad hero that this one guy plays from another podcast.
Sorry, Taylor.
Destroyed viscerally next to him.
Yeah, poor guy.
Yeah. I don't like that OG Katsu didn't get a lot from the set.
Nothing.
R.I.P. R.I.P.
He's doing good.
He's doing good still.
fine.
Like Tutors is just really strong in general.
If
right?
you're a
But,
Katsu player, that's where you want to be. Because if
Oh,
they
be
give him
under-
something
underneath?
too good,
Yeah.
he's gone.
Yep.
Right? Like, so I feel like.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's gonna win like 1, maybe 2 nationals. He's gonna be like, I'm good.
He's chilling. He's just vibing. You can bring Katsu to any event.
Yeah,
It's fine.
Yeah, for the next 5 years, you can bring Katsu.
I don't know. He's creeping up, isn't he? What's he
It's
at?
like what, 600 now?
600.
600.
Oh, but they did just drop the
Yeah. They also
No
dropped
particular
the
reason.
dense blue
right,
mist, right?
after Kano won the entire weekend in Warsaw
We need that.
and gains 200 LL points.
140. Let's be real. 140.
Just rounding it up here. they drop all the points.
Mhm.
Brutal.
It's fine. They needed the other KA
Hero underscore.
Yeah.
Okay.
to stay in the format longer.
Yeah.
Why would they ever want to
What
do
do
that?
you?
What am I don't.
You can be excited about stuff.
Sure.
Enjoy things.
I played a game. Yeah.
He plays Armored
I don't
Deck
know.
KO.
It's true. I
Yeah,
think
it's still good.
I thought I think it's pretty decent. I just think the monetary value is just garbage.
It's fine.
I'm pretty excited for actually Armory Deck Bolton though.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do
Oh,
play
yeah.
Bolton, and I think that the
You
style.
look like a Bolton player.
Wow, thanks.
Ichi, we'll get to this, all right?
I do think that the style of gameplay that the new cards for Bolton are like kind of trying to encourage is something that I'm pretty okay with, like mid-rangey, like defensive Bolton. I'm pretty excited to use really bad cards. I'm always excited to do that. That's why I'm happy for Riptide getting his new specialization.
It's a popper.
He's getting popular, man.
I'm hyped for the Tech Levasin boost cards. I'm ready to play boost Tech Levasin.
There we go.
Supercell?
Yeah.
You know what? You got your anti-Kano cards now.
Yeah, and this is further justification for me to stay as a judge. Okay. Least excited? I don't know. I don't have anything that I'm not excited for. I'm a very neutral person. You tell me, Miles, what am I least excited for?
You are least excited for invariably Oliver winning and going, "Oh, Enigma's not good enough."
Yeah. Or just like, okay, when Oliver wins, right? He's just like, oh, I just play the game, right? Or like he'll like crown somebody and explain to the person how to win against him, as if it's and then say that the matchup is favored for the person losing, just to drive it in. Yeah.
You're gonna have a lot of judge calls number 250 cheat cards and
Oh,
pitch for-
yeah.
That's actually
that's the thing. Yeah,
DG.
yeah. They're trying to drive home this DG thing, which sounds kind of lame. Where you have to do post game processes for like the first 2 weeks, I think, for people playing these heroes. They're gonna forget to DG, and it's gonna be a nightmare to figure out whether or not a card should be a chi or not.
Oh my god. Yeah, they draw it too early and they're like,
And like, once again, like, did you play Preserved Tradition this game? And you're like, I don't know. And then they call a judge, and I'm just like, I don't know either. Why you ask me?
well, I cast the shuffle card, so it could be back already. Yeah, it's gonna be pain.
Yeah.
Good thing there's no important events in the 2 weeks after the set drops, right?
Yeah, just
No-
nationals.
No, oh,
Thank God.
that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Now-
nobody goes to those, right?
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is how I make day 2, is by people not DCing and then they get DQ'd.
That's like some Magic the Gathering.
DG or get DQ'd.
Yeah, that's what it should be. DG or DQ, your choice. And now you have an actual consequence tied to this stupid like mnemonic.
What was that thing where you had to like flip up your morph creature?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to do that for cloak cards too.
Yeah, you can reveal it.
Or just cloak, right? Not arsenal or anything like that.
No, just cloak cards.
You
Yeah.
flip them all up.
Yep.
What about banished face down cards?
No, because
No, it only matters. It's like if you could take advantage of it. That's what they're trying to avoid.
Gotcha.
Because like you could have like,
A fake equipment card that's not even an equipment card face down the whole time.
Yep.
yeah, and it's like a basic mountain. But,
Yeah.
like
With,
your opponent
with,
is
with
playing-
goblin written on it.
with Goblin written on it, it's fucking
Yeah.
DQ'd and
yeah, like if you make your opponent play around something that's like you actually don't have in your deck list, that's a bad thing, right?
yeah, they're just playing around the +1 counter all the time.
Yeah.
You just don't.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
And you just forgot to bring your arms or something.
Right.
You're up, Miles.
Yes. I'm looking forward to new. I really enjoyed playing Zuri during like the Lexi season. It was like a pretty good game into it. So new is like really fun, a lot of lines. I feel like obviously a lot more than Boost Dash. So I get to like use my brain, which is gonna be fun. And just like figuring out the metagame. Hopefully playing less KO because it's kind of just like boring.
I mean, if you're playing Assassins, you probably are okay
Yeah.
with that.
Well, I mean, I would just like to have more fun. I feel like I'm not tripping too much about. I don't know. We'll see. And then least excited. I don't know. I feel like I'm not too worried about anything.
Oh, I have another one I want to put in. I'm least excited
You can
about
take
every
mine.
single time I say I'm playing Enigma. My opponent can immediately win the match by saying Enigma balls, and then I just
yeah. No, otherwise, yeah. I think generally like limited. I feel like everybody's like things to be excited for. I'm just like, yeah, I'm hyped for all this. Like, I don't think there's anything too concerning. Like,
Yeah.
I'm excited. Yeah.
Good set.
Yeah.
So far, at least.
we
Hopefully.
think.
Yeah.
We think.
Yeah.
Week 1. Oh my god, I can't. This is
Yeah.
Really far.
Enigma is a disaster. It's broken. Alice doesn't know how to balance. You know.
Yeah.
Talent's always been broken. Though.
Talents are broken.
Oliver,
Yeah.
take it up there.
Talents were a mistake.
Yeah.
Stay in the line, Bart.
Table.
Yeah, Levia, really big mistake, huh?
The only ones
Yes.
that are left are the ones that sucked, and now they are good.
It's
because talents are that strong.
Cheers.
And listen. Bolton, my friends always get on me about this. So like, Bolton's not bad anymore. I'm like, guys, just keep on saying he's bad for me. When I walk into an event, everyone's be like, you're playing Bolton? What does he even do?
Cool.
I'll just win. I'll just win.
I'm being honest. I don't know what Bolton does.
Look,
So
There's a lot of text on the card too. So
Well, every single time I present a card for any sort of damage, everyone goes, what's the on hit on that? Oh, it's just 4 damage. It doesn't do anything.
And
I
so
can banish
really-
or go again. I can swing my sword for 3. They go, oh, that's it? Okay, fine. Yeah, I'll take 4. Raiden for 3. Beacon for 10. Lumina. Oh. Got it. Okay.
You're spicy.
Yeah.
Enigma.
one word.
Cards.
One word.
The blue cards.
I do play a lot of assassin, so I do like how Azuri do get some good stealth support. What are you?
I
What's
don't
that?
think you play a lot of assassin.
You have no idea.
I
He's-
don't
he's
have
been
any
practicing.
idea.
no clue.
Even he's been
Do you
practicing.
feel Azuri is better than New right now?
They both have their strengths and weaknesses.
Okay.
I feel like Azuri has the damage. New also has the damage, but she requires more cards to do it.
Okay.
New has more disruption options, I think. But I mean, they both kind of run like the same disruption. The issue is like with news disruption is like you can like easily get blocked out by armor, and then if you don't have the if you can't go over, you're just like, oh, whatever.
What is that thing? Armor?
Armor.
Yeah,
Yeah, right. Crazy concept.
I don't have that.
I don't have that.
Yeah, Nigma's armor is pretty busted.
Yeah, you just don't use it.
Tree, do you block with the helmet and you win the game?
Yeah, but that's when that's like more like ragamuffins than it is like blocking.
No,
armor.
because Ragamuffins, you hope to win the game like a few times, a few percent.
Sure.
This one, you just win.
I think Mist Hat is possibly top 3 equipment in the game.
Yeah,
I
it
think
is
so.
insane.
I like top
It
3
is
art.
so
Like, it's actually
good.
just
It's
killer.
I think it's
so good.
worse than Storm Striders. And I think there
Unbiased.
might be something else that is worse than,
Flashback.
but I'm not
Two
sure.
Yeah,
Fans?
flashback.
No, the
No,
Crown
Seeds?
is way better than Flashback.
You think so?
No, I think it's better than Crown. I've never had it.
Ooh.
I've never had the helmet be worth less than 10 points
Wow.
ever.
Bring back stubbies. You ready for that
No.
conversation?
Stop.
It's so good. It's just like okay. Also, it's like combined with the cards that Enigma gets is like very powerful.
Yeah.
The Mirror Guy card is like kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
I was gonna give you 6
That's
cards.
actually.
Yeah.
I take it
So
back.
straight
I
to
hate,
the cards.
that's my downside. I
Yeah.
hate the Mirror Guy card. I hate
It's so
from
good.
like the 2 games we played. I was like
it's so good.
8, bro. I ain't done.
It's 12. It's 12.
I'm like,
because you get Ward 4.
Yeah.
It should have had Phantasm on it, dude.
Yeah.
Well, Mirror Guy doesn't have. It
Yeah.
gets rid of Phantasm.
Oh, right, it's Mirror
That's
Guy.
like the whole
Lore
thing.
That's the whole
accurate.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, lore accurate.
Lore accurate.
Yeah. 4-2 Mirror Guy.
Okay, that's the problem. They threw in a Dromai card in this set. It's frustrating.
Okay, another one. There we go. All the things related to dragons. That's what I was.
Anti-draw my crown here.
What are you not looking forward to?
I don't know. Limited.
Yeah.
All of us are not looking forward to that either.
What? I love limited.
I'm looking forward to this
I saw-
limited more than other limited, but limited in general is definitely.
I think the fact that every single hero has like a really sick late game is really fun.
Yeah.
Also, at the same time, Enigma late game, not fun to play against.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think I like that they have literally pretty much anti-fatigue like abilities and or styles that they can do.
Yeah.
So it
I
really,
like that second cycle matters.
yes, second cycle, third cycle.
Well, we think second cycle matters.
It should.
Yeah, it should.
And that's why I think like Enigma and Newer maybe
Okay.
more polarizing and limited because of the second cycle having the chi, the anti-fatigue built in. New can even beat out Enigma in the fatigue matchup because they can just exile
That
chi
different
cards.
one wasn't used, right?
This one?
That one's empty. That was not used. That was the old one.
If I do,
Oh, this.
if I do one of these, which one should be?
I want you to try this one.
Okay, I'll try that one.
The one he hates. That he hates.
Yeah, I want you to try the one I really dislike.
Lovely.
Okay. This one you say you didn't hate, right? Or,
Just sneakily throwing away his whiskey with us.
So this is Booker's, very peanut forward, and I fell out of love with this one because I tried all their limited stuff and like rare to find bottles or versions of this, and this regular line just sucks in comparison.
I think we've already.
This is
established
like-
we prefer constructed.
It's
so-
like very
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
like-
Yeah, exactly.
all right. So since France is grabbing your drink, I'll ask you the question. So we've been pretty fortunate this season in California, at least NorCal specifically. We've had a lot of competitive events. We had RTN season. We had PTLA. We had the PQ. We had PQ season and Battle Hard SF. France had to take a break. I know some people definitely felt burnt out by the end of the season. How have you all felt, and what do you do to avoid burnout and fatigue in a competitive season? That's a little bit too long, maybe. Oliver?
Oliver.
I just have fun. It's not competitive for me.
Okay.
He just wins.
Too
and has fun.
easy.
It's too easy. Yeah, it's
Just playing cards.
just having fun. Just winning.
Yeah. All right.
Miles, cheers.
Fine.
Cheers, everybody.
Taking a day off to judge is actually like
I bet that's
pretty peak. Yeah. Because I still get the kind of like energy of seeing people and like being around the game, but I'm not stressed about trying to win.
Sure.
Otherwise, I like switching heroes, like you were saying, like having like kind of a backup hero. If I'm like feeling like the vibes are off with like my main, I'm like, all right, time to swap. And that worked out this season. Like Dash, I was doing just okay. And I swapped to Kasai and was like 3 top 8s in a row, so it was pretty good.
Yeah.
I think just like keeping it fresh and not having like high, like my goal was like top 8, and then it's like, all right, I did it. I needed once, and then anything else is just like on top. So just also trying to be more like Oliver, where I'm like, I'm just gaming, I'm having fun.
Oh, yes, here we go.
So,
That's my favorite
yeah.
drink right there.
So I don't think
Is
we
it
explained it, but
Moscow Mule?
yeah.
Mexican Mule.
Mexican Mule.
I don't think we explained it, but France, why is Majin drinking fancy drinks and we're just drinking?
Oh, he requested clear liquor drinks, so we're making him cocktails because
They're very nice. I don't like brown liquor very much.
sure.
I'll skip this question because I have no fatigue because I just judge all the time and don't play.
I mean, I feel like it can get fatiguing. Like,
No, not at
it's
all.
long.
Not at all.
Not even
Free
like
cards.
I was like, I feel
Just to make fun of people,
Skill difference.
stress people
yeah,
out
yeah,
for
actually,
free.
you're right.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah. You just like when you mess with people, it like refills your energy, right? Yeah.
I was too stressed about messing up to like that.
Exactly. But once you like are no longer stressed about messing up, it's just like, oh, this is easy. I just babysit.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh, he called me like 4 different times at the Pro Quest. Like, hey, you should have done this to kill him.
Yeah.
Hey, why'd you do this?
Yeah.
You
I just,
totally missed this onboard attack. What are you doing?
That's what I'm going through in my head when I lose a game. Yeah.
What would Gichin do?
Yeah. So I definitely took a couple of day breaks. Like felt bad, like mentally, but it's
Not
fine
my
because
fault.
like it's just no one's fault. It's just like me beating up myself. Because one of the things I do is like when I exit an event, if my last game was a loss, I'm simmering on that loss. So like my wife will like tell me like I look mad when I'm like driving home from an event, but it's not that I'm mad. It's just like I am just thinking so hard. Like what could I have done differently? So that's I skipped events because I needed to take a break.
so before you go on, I'm just gonna say, oh my god, this is so strong.
Is it really?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, 63%. Yeah.
Jeez.
This is like the first time I'm like crying, not because of the allergies.
What do you mean? You've been crying all day. You've been crying all week.
Oh my
The
god.
next one
Gets right.
is stronger. So,
All right, I'm
record
ready.
that.
I'm ready. Okay. All right, Kyle. Sorry to interrupt.
No, you're good. I would say the way I avoid fatigue in the game, I mean, honestly, I just have a lot of fun. I think I'm on board with all over here. Just like I go in, I don't expect to do well. I'm going to go in there. If I see a hand that does 30 damage, but it's going to lose me the game, I'm still going to play the hand.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I just did 30 damage. That's cool. I'm going to go home happy. But then, but then sometimes like top deck Bolton, like you just rip the 3 Luminas off the top in the first 3 turns and you didn't have to think the whole game.
Yep.
And then you just go on to the next round. It's great.
It's all about the small victories, right?
Yeah. I'd rather do 30 damage and lose than like think way too hard, get a headache, be like super anxious into the next round when I could just like go home if I lose.
So I play an easy class.
Mhm.
You were sitting in the tank for like 5 minutes. You're like, what am I going to do? Give us a kill, Franche. And you're like, all right, let's do it. Kano, rip lessons off the top. Oh, you're dead.
I saw that and I was like, show me 3 blues and wildfire and arsenal, and then I can see it. Yeah.
We can just leave now.
Yeah, we can just we're done.
Jump in the stream. So, guys, this is where you're gonna picture it in your mind your house, and then the cards over here. Let's call this house. Like, no way. I was like, I play decks at shuffle, so I turn my brain off.
I did so much explaining to people about the memory palace. This like last couple months, I'm like, okay, so you have to imagine Aether Wildfire taking a shit, and then next to
You actually had a really good visual explanation for it.
Did I?
Yeah, I think you did.
Nice.
Like,
Which one's the ugly green guy again?
Oh,
Prognosticate.
See,
I will remember that now. Yeah.
I told people in the story time, I was like, you will not forget prognosticate.
Yeah.
Is the droopy green penis wizard.
Are you worried that people will now just like randomly say things to mess you up?
No, because it doesn't mess you up.
Three.
Because
Yeah.
like once you have the memory palace, the strength of it is that it requires 0 mental upkeep.
Yeah.
So like I just have conversations and I play the game, and I could probably leave for 3 hours and then come back and still have perfect
Wow.
Because it's not, I don't know, you're just not,
It's
it doesn't even feel like remembering.
Yeah.
Right? It's like what happens in Lord of the Rings. It's like, well, you know what happens in Lord of the Rings. First they get the ring, and then they make the party, and then they, right? It's like, it's the same thing where it's just like, you can't really forget because you're not memorizing random stuff.
Mhm.
You're remembering a sequential, almost like story and like various interactions and stuff. It
Mhm.
makes it a lot easier to stick. So
Yeah, this one I took like AP Psych in high school going way back, and we did like a memory palace thing, and to this day I can remember most of a 25-word list from like 15 years ago because I just like walked my house and I'm like, the thing's here, this is there, there. And it's crazy because it's like it doesn't matter. I don't actually think about it, and then I just like, oh, over there is this. It's really crazy.
Now the question is, does doing it 7, 8, 9 times in a day mess you up?
no, you think it should, but it just like doesn't. Sometimes it can get a little wonky. You're like, that was last time, but usually like, I don't know. Usually it just kind of like washes and then you just do another one. Extra Emily, I think is her Twitch name. Like a TFT streamer that I watch sometimes. She memorized to 1,000 digits of pi in one day on stream.
Nice. Yeah,
Using a memory palace. She had like a memory palace of her memory palace. Like a memory palace key
Wow.
to remember more things. It was fucking nuts. Yeah, it was so insane to see. All I have to do is remember like 30 cards. It's so much easier.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Nuts, right? It was in
Yeah.
like 10, just slightly over 10 hours.
And she's like, I
Unreal.
challenge people, and everybody was like, no.
Absolutely not.
I forgot what was the question.
Burnout.
Burnout. I'll be honest, I don't really get burned out from the card game. I played Magic for a very long time. I know I keep going back to that, but I'd play Magic 12 hours a day, weeks on end, nonstop.
Like no frustration.
No fr-
like,
well,
no,
I'd get
like,
frustrated.
Like frustration, but like there's
I would
no
get
real
frustrated.
frustration from
Like
Magic.
Magic. I was playing
Oh yeah.
So again, like
Go down to
I
4.
would-
I'm always burnt out.
I wouldn't get the burnout, but I would get the you didn't do well. You didn't do as well as you wanted, so there was like that depression, and then you just come back harder. Right? You just want to do better. Like that would be where I would get, but like not wanting to play the game, was never really in my vocabulary. Going pre-ProQuest season, I would try to make an event here and there.
Mhm.
And Austin invited me to go certain ones. I had things come up. I've got a family or work things, and they were excuses, sure. And I just wouldn't go. This one I really dedicated a lot of time to, and really try to emphasize going as much as possible, playing on Talishar as much as possible, getting the reps in, which I think has shown between the beginning of the ProQuest season and the end of the ProQuest season, like obviously the last day. And I can still feel like I just want to play the game. I think playing, especially the people in Sacramento against Austin, Majin, the other people in the Metal Fab team,
Yeah, shout out Metal Fab.
they are phenomenal players. Even though against them my win rate is about 5%, no matter what deck and what matchup, I could be on Prism, he's on Kano, I'll still lose. I'm still learning.
Mhm.
And I think that is the biggest thing, that if you're learning something about the game, you're taking something away from it, which makes you better, and you want to now try that out. Because you want this muscle memory in your mind of this is the sequential things that you want to do to help you get that extra couple percentages against the matchup, which I think is going to lead into things like Nationals, the Pro Tour, other ProQuests. We've got a stacked group of people in the Bay Area and Sacramento that are just super, super difficult to play against. But that's where that repetition of knowing the matchups, knowing the heroes, getting the memory of the cards in. And I just want to keep playing. I just want to keep learning. I want to get better. I do get fatigued sometimes against these guys because I don't feel like I'm getting better. But then I'll go to a ProQuest and I'll smash everyone's face. And I'm like, oh, that's what this feels like. That's what winning feels like.
Yeah.
And so I think, and that's really what wants me to keep going. Do I have to repeat anything?
No, we're good.
So, but no, I think that's really what it comes down to. Again, on the drive here, we were listening to the audiobook. I'm thinking about the deck as we're listening to this. So I'm thinking of multiple things driving all the same time. And I'm really trying to think of like, what is the next step in the fab iteration of where I want to move to. And it's exciting. I'm scared, but it's exciting.
Nice.
I have to play things I enjoy. I can't even play a single tournament with a deck that I don't like. Or by the end of the tournament, I'm like a super tilt lord.
The Dark Days of Viceroy, where you're like, I hate this.
Bro, so you just draw a Runeblade hand and you're like, I want to jump out this way. Yeah, I have to like what I play. And that's like that's true through all card games.
So did you have that with like LOR too? Because I know you have to bring like 3 decks, right?
Yeah, so I would eat my vegetables on one deck in my lineup. If I ever had, because like you bring 3, ban 1. So if I bring 2 decks I like and 1 deck I don't like, but it's the best deck in the format, then if they ban one of the decks I like, I still get to play the other deck I like.
Mm-hmm.
But if I bring 2 decks I don't like that are the best decks and only 1 deck I do like, and I don't get to play the deck I do like, I tilt off the face of the other. Not like when they ban it, I just play the deck. Like the issue is when I'm playing things I don't enjoy, I'm not like searching to improve. Yeah, I'm not like searching to improve. I'm just like playing the game, and the only positive outcome for me is win the game.
Mhm.
So when I don't win the game, I'm upset, and when I do win the game, I'm just placated. Right? I don't even know if that's the right word. I think it is.
Yeah.
But when I'm playing a deck I really enjoy, like Kano, I'm always like trying to grind out little things. I'm always like, oh, maybe I should have done this instead, and like I'm really like thinking about it more. And when I lose, it's like, well, yeah, I lost. It is what it is. But I maybe should have done this, and I think if I'd have maybe made these sideboard decisions and maybe approached the matchup a little different, it's like a completely different mindset. So when I play decks I love, I'm like, you see me get very good at them. Like with Kano, right? I dove super deep into Kano because I always feel like there's more to learn. But then if I play KO, I'll feel like I'm doing everything I can be doing to win games, even though that's not true. And I'll lose games because I'm not very good at the deck. But I don't know. It's just like since I don't like the deck, I won't ever take the time or the mental effort to keep learning the deck. So I'll just like never get better at it, and I'll just keep losing. But sometimes even with decks I like, I have to kind of stop for a bit. Like at the end of this season, I was a bit tired of playing Kano because I'll play a million games of like normal Kano or Kano mirrors and have a blast. But the pitch deck style of Kano I actually don't like. It feels so deterministic. It's very much like I'm going to block as efficiently as possible and I'm going to set up this stack. And if you can stop me, then you win. And if you can't, then I win. And there's no flesh and blood here. It's kind of what it feels like. And I don't know. I feel like I have to apologize to my opponents every time I do the thing. I'm like, yeah, sorry, I'm still at 29, and
You're good.
yeah. So I just like I found myself when I played a bunch of matches in a row where I was like pitch stacking people, getting frustrated, even though I was like winning all the time. And then God forbid I lose a matchup on pitch stacking. I'm miserable because I'm like I didn't have fun. Don't feel like I'm learning, which is funny because it's the same deck, right? It's just
Yeah.
But yeah, so I got lost on my tangent.
Just vibing.
Yeah, I'm just vibing, bro. Just play decks you like. I don't know. That's been my advice forever. Is like pick something you really like and just play it because you're not going to like. I hate KO, so I'm not going to stay up until 1 a.m. practicing KO and discussing tech about KO. But like, you want to talk about Kano? No. I'll be there all night long talking about Kano. My Mr. KO player.
I think there is a huge advantage of being a specialist in this game compared to any other card game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Knowing that deck and knowing every matchup for that hero is like phenomenally higher. Like that's why you'll see people that's played Guardian play another Guardian into another Guardian. That's like Runeblade into Runeblade, back into that kind of deal. What was the question again?
How do you avoid burnout?
Oh, burnout. Yeah.
Did you get
These
burnout?
long seasons of
Burnout.
Next question.
Did you experience it at all?
That's really also, honestly, not a question that's good for me, I think. Because I don't really feel burnout either. Like, win or lose.
Yeah.
Like, I know, like, people, like, after they lose, they'll, like, I need to go win again. So that's me there, too. And then after a win, they're like, I could go get more. That's also me, too.
It does help when you top with
Yeah.
4 pro
Yeah.
quests.
After I won the Pro Quest, that final cut, and I was messaging, he said, and they're like, congrats, yeah. It's like, anyway, free month tomorrow? It's like, more gold foils, yeah. Right? So I kind of like to look at the schedule like months in advance. That way I know when the breaks are, so I can know when I'm like kind of like long macro focused in that way. So
Makes sense.
I just know I'm going to be at work for the next 3 months. There's Battle and this. It's all planned out, and then there's going to be like gap between like now and this film. Okay, that's what I take for.
Makes sense. Sounds like most of us are just play a deck you like and don't take it seriously.
Yeah.
All right.
All
What's
right.
our next one?
So, I love Old Forester,
But
but there's an issue where with single barrels, there are sometimes bad barrels. Sometimes you just get a bad batch of whiskey or a less than ideal batch
Star
of
Wars
whiskey.
reference. Might be the first one I actually
So,
don't like.
This is Old Forester barrel strength. This is the highest proof that we have on this lineup. It'll go down from here.
Okay, thank you.
This is, I think this is 66%. There is this very bitter cherry note that I really dislike in this one. Okay.
Great job selling this.
So this one sucks, and it's really strong.
And it's really strong.
so, what do you usually like about similar offerings? That's not this
So
barrel.
Old Forester is very well known
So
for
you
having
like
this
this
like banana Foster's note, almost like Irish whiskey and like their shortbread note. So yeah, it just does not come through enough in this, and that really shitty like cherry note really comes
What's
through.
the back of this here? What does this look like?
It is a sticker of someone,
okay.
Because this is part of like the whiskey Facebook group for the Bay Area. So that's just one of the members that they're highlighting.
You guys
for
have all
this.
watched Hot Ones, right?
Yeah.
So this is like the bomb of this lineup. pretty much.
Sure, I
It's just
guess.
nasty.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers.
everybody.
I hope you guys don't dislike it as much as I do.
All right. I'll do the question while you go
So
get
I'm
the.
drinking twice as much alcohol as you.
I'm just talking about kickers.
Okay, we're gonna get into a spicy topic here. We're gonna talk about the upcoming changes to the draws and concession rules. So if you're not familiar, basically,
As a preface, before you guys showed up, we talked about this for like 45 minutes to an hour, and then he was like, "We're talking about it later," and I was like, "Oh, please." Anyway,
So you're exempt from the questions. What we're
no,
doing.
I'm getting in there. No.
so if you've talked about prizes, you cannot concede. And players, what's the other one?
Can't ask for a concession.
You can't ask for concession.
I got
I feel very targeted with this one right
a game
now.
loss once for my team in team limited because of that.
Mm-hmm. All right.
But now it's like you can't even. Yeah. Anyway,
So, do you think this update was necessary? Were the rules? Do you think the rules were too lax, or are these changes too strict or not strict enough? Austin, we'll get start with you.
So
Well, you should list the rules.
yeah.
Yeah. So specifically, it's actual rules haven't come out yet. It's just the preview that's come out, which is no talking about prizes and then asking for concessions.
So there's 3 bullet points.
Yeah.
Players can't ask for concessions at all. Players can't concede if they've discussed private prizes or preferences. And the third is discussing advantages or future turns after time is called is considered pressuring for a concession.
So I've also came from Magic like most of these guys, and that conversation is, I think, a lot more lax, and if anything, it might talk very frequently.
Yeah.
So
Imagine.
Yep.
yeah, imagine.
That's part of the like. It's part of the like
There's a-
rules. The wink, wink, nudge,
Yeah,
nudge.
yeah. Well, not only
big
that,
money.
there's ID, which is intentional draw.
Yep.
Yeah, so glad
You
we
can-
left that behind. Oh my.
Yeah.
And that creates like the 5-0, like 13-0 players. Like, oh, we're just gonna draw into top 8, and we don't have to play our last 2 matches.
Yep.
And
You get lunch and come back to
Yeah,
topic.
exactly.
Unless you're drunk or dying.
Who would do that?
I don't think it's too lax, and I don't think it's too strict either before this change, because there's ways to kind of negotiate it and stuff like that too, where it seems fair and competitive integrity is still maintained.
Mhm.
That being said, with this, and they're kind of like shoehorning the "you can't do this anymore" thing, it's just going to make players more creative on their ways to make concessions happen. You know? You're going to see. So this is something that we talked about on our team chats as well, where
something I brought up was in League of Legends, there was a term called Oscar Night, where two teams that were in playoff contention did not want to play the number one team. So they had to intentionally lose. But they couldn't do that because Riot Games was like, hey, you can't play, you can't sway, like you can't forcibly play like that. So they would have to like pretend to be playing bad and do that. And you're gonna probably see that now. It's like, hey, do you want to do where second place gets a gold foil and first place gets the invite? It's like, yeah, sure, cool. And then you're gonna just see somebody just go no luck.
No luck.
No
Yeah.
luck.
No
No
luck.
luck. No luck.
So
Head
Like, do you really need to do that? Like, it's going to happen anyway. So this rule really doesn't change that all too much, in my opinion. It's just going to force two people to play a really, really terrible game of Flesh and Blood.
Yeah.
So I think that's what you're going to see a lot more of. I don't know as far as like when it goes to like tier 3 events level where judges will be staring that down and be like,
I don't think it happens enough in tier 3s for it to matter. I think mostly it's targeted at PQ level,
PQ level.
up to battle hardened level, I
huge,
think.
yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen tier 3. What is tier 3 like, nationals?
Tier 3 is nationals and callings.
I don't think I've ever seen anything like that.
Yeah.
My take is like the reason why I hated Magic system so much was that it punished players who weren't in the know. It was like a secret thing that like all the grinders knew. You double ID in or whatever to top 8, and you kind of wink wink nudge nudge, do these concessions, and it was like
Being able to do the math on
yeah, it was just like
You just game the system.
you have to game the system. That was Magic. And like I think that not leads to a lot of like scummy stuff, but like Magic, I don't know, competitive Magic was scummy. Man.
Yeah.
Like, it was bad. And Flesh and Blood's like not like that, and I love that about Flesh and Blood. And I'm worried that changes like this don't remove things like that from the game. What they do is punish players who are not in the know. And that's not what I want. I also think like I just want to benefit the players. If we're in like a pro quest or something, like most people can't go to Amsterdam.
Yep.
Right. But they really want a gold foil, or they really want their, whatever. And I don't know. I think that should be fine to have something like that. I don't want to see things like. Honestly, I don't even know. Like
Like a double DQ in the
I-
finals or something.
that's not what I want to see. Like I don't know. I don't
Or
want to have
even
to like.
any DQ, right?
Yeah, I don't want to have to sit down in the finals and dance the dance, right? Like I don't have to sit there and be like, "You want to go something?"
Yeah.
I gotta go to the bathroom. Like I just don't want to do that. So I've been skeptical of some changes before, and they've turned out positive, and I'm hoping this is one of them that I'm just not quite seeing.
I will say that the full text isn't out yet, so we don't know exactly what the wording is. But from what I understand, playing badly might also be considered. It's generally considered like if you play intentionally, like obviously badly, obviously judges interpretation, then it can be it is essentially asking for a concession. It's conceding. Which I don't know how it's going to play out, how the rules update is going to happen. But I do agree. I think generally, like if the main issue is with enforcement, because I feel like most ProQuest level judges will not bother because they're so used to the current system, and because they don't want to earn the ire of the people that they play with.
Yeah, I mean it's like you're our buddy or whatever.
Yeah, why are you DQing me?
Screw us here. Like, yeah.
Yeah, like To doesn't care. We don't care. Do you care?
Yeah.
I don't consent, James White.
Yeah.
Outside with his pop collar.
Yeah.
So, coming in again, Magic, we keep going back to this one.
Totally fair.
I think all the current text that we have out, all it's doing is punishing the players. I think that one, you can't not force a person to concede. Like that should be a player's option at any time of the game to concede a game. You can't force them to play. If you're forcing them to play, that is a negative in my opinion, because again, that's just an inherent bad thing in my opinion to the game. I think a lot of us can agree to that. So I think though that a lot of this comes down to the judge who's running the event, the people that are in the tournament, in the top 8, the finals, wherever you guys want to have the conversations, and how they want to interpret the rules as this is ironclad law, or sure, in my scenario, when I top 4'd the PQ, I know I pulled you aside, I had a conversation with you, because I know in Magic, there's very, very strict things you can say.
Yeah.
If you say the wrong thing, you were disqualified.
So, I'll interrupt you here
Sure.
because generally my philosophy with those sorts of like I'm trying to say the right words is that most of the time when you are trying to say the right words, it means that you are trying to ask for something that you know you're not supposed to,
Mhm.
and you just want to find a way to ask for it where you don't get in trouble for it.
Sure. I think in my example, I know it's an allowed option.
Yeah.
To ask for a concession because you want to go to the Pro Tour, right? The person hasn't made it very clear that they don't want to go to the Pro Tour, so they're just playing to play
Mhm.
and get prizes and whatnot. I think though, even in that scenario, if you were to say the wrong connotation of a word, like "I will give you" or "this will be this," something along those lines, that could lead to an automatic disqualification from the judge's perspective. So involving a judge in the conversation is something that I think, again, this ruling is adding more stress on the judge
Mhm.
more than anything on do they enforce the ruling on what was said, or do we have to have these conversations more and more along the quarters, semis, finals, things like that, to ensure that we don't have this double disqualification and then nobody gets the Pro Quest, nobody gets the gold foil, whatever, right?
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly how that's going to work. We don't have the rules out for that yet. Or I guess that's up to the enforcement of the judge or the TO. And I think that's where, like Maju was saying, is that anything that's negatively impacting the player is never a good thing.
Yeah.
Because it can impact both players negatively, not just one player negatively in this scenario. And that's where I feel like the rule is too strict in a lot of ways. So.
It's fair.
So this is the first competitive TCG I've ever played. So I have no
We love it.
experience with Magic.
Yeah.
Or
Magic's
like
great, by the way.
I play Commander with my friends and like it's fun, but it just doesn't do it for me. But like I'm a firm believer in like, okay, if you're gonna make a change, it has to be to the net benefit of everybody. And reading those rule changes is like, what does this do for anybody, really? If one person,
a problem.
yeah, it's like this. One person wants a PTI, one person wants a gold foil. That seems like a pretty easy cut and dry. Like, all right, cool, you get this, let's just go our separate ways. But now I gotta spend, after already being at an event for like 4 or 5 hours, my whole day. Probably haven't eaten because I always forget food personally. But now I gotta sit here. I gotta act like I'm playing a game after we do our little hush hush nudge nudge. Like, this is what I want. This is where you're gonna get. Cool. Let's play the game. Now we're just playing for not our enjoyment anymore. And like the reason I love Flesh and Blood is like the community is so great. I feel like everyone that leaves an event usually leaves pretty happy. Like unless you lost. Like a pretty
Everybody
happy.
leaves an event towards the end of the day.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. You only see the people who are leaving happy.
Yeah.
Because everyone else are like tilt left.
But like
Scoop.
I feel like anytime I go to an event, if I wash out, scrub out, do well, do okay, like I usually leave pretty happy because the interactions I have with people, and then like if I make top 8, then the interactions I have with people in top 8, and then if I make finals, the little conversation like, do we actually even have to do this? Like we're both pretty tired. We kind of just want to go home. It's 8 p.m. I got an hour drive. You got an hour drive. Let's just call it here. But now I gotta sit there for an extra 20 minutes of my life, just like, okay, I guess we're doing this. And then if the judge is somebody we don't know and they're new to it, and they're like, I'm gonna enforce the rules here. You're not playing right, you're disqualified. You're not playing right, you're disqualified. You just wasted 5 hours of your day and $40.
Just in case anyone's watching, judges should enforce the rules.
They should.
I would
They
like to
should.
say that on camera so nobody yells at me.
I am a firm believer in rules enforcement,
Sure.
and not the bad ones.
But if nobody's there to see,
Rules for D.
Yeah, and it's just like it doesn't benefit anybody. What does it do for the player base besides just add an extra hurdle to now what you've already had a long day?
Can I ask, is this like the season with the least amount of finals played because it's Amsterdam?
every like non-US
Yeah.
ProQuest is like split.
Yeah. It's like,
Essentially.
I have a carpool here, like my KO final with Tommy. It's like, I have my carpool. I need to go home and do a 2-hour drive. It's like, let's not play. It's like, okay.
Yeah, obviously, like it depends on the award, right? Like everybody can go to Minneapolis theoretically,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but not everybody can go to Amsterdam. So
Everybody can go to Minneapolis.
everybody, anybody,
You're going
not
to
everybody.
Amsterdam, but not Minneapolis.
I don't want to go to the calling and not have had played the deck, not knowing the meta.
That's fair.
But yeah,
I'm not gonna drop $800 on a plane ticket.
yeah. I will say that probably in the US,
800.
right? But like Europe probably doesn't split, right? Europe does. Will
Yeah,
do.
like ProQuest were competitive when it was LA
Yes.
Yes.
or New Jersey, right? We were
Yeah.
that shit was like,
Cooking.
and it wasn't like people. Now I feel like we get to like top 8 or whatever, and people kind of like trickle out the door. But like those ones, nobody left because it was like, who's going to the Pro Tour, right? And now it's like, oh, okay, well these 4 people don't really want, like they can't go. These 2 already have one, and this guy's got a good matchup, so he's gonna get the PTI.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it worked.
Like, our final was like, I don't want to go pretty. You don't want to go pretty. I want the gold. You want the gold?
You'd rather have the gold foil?
Yeah.
I mean, I just want to say, like, for the record, I do love, like, it's all on the line. It's the finals, right? Like, that's I love that. Like, I live for that. But it does suck when it's like, okay, we gotta play this game and I won, and now this is the bad outcome for us, kind of. Like, you get shafted. I have this thing I can't use.
I do gotta say, I do enjoy in this game that in the last couple of rounds you play for seeding. And seeding being huge.
Yeah, that's actually
If you're good at the game, I had to play it outright.
That part is definitely more enjoyable than just going, hey, let's just ID and go to
Yep.
That yeah, I do enjoy that.
What is this?
That is a chocolate rum old fashioned.
It is old fashioned.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that's good.
Good, good reviews so far.
Yeah.
Also, what's your opinion?
I'll be the devil's advocate and say I do want more stricter rules for prize splitting. Primarily not for the players, for the judges themselves, so they can enforce, bad actors in these like events and like pressuring their opponents and that kind of thing. The way that the rules are suggesting right now, I think is too negative for players. So I'd like that to be changed, especially the second bullet point. I think that's too gray of a line.
Well, after you talk about prizes, you can't concede.
Yeah, players can't concede if they've discussed prizes or preferences, because like Austin said, you're just gonna play around it, right? So I want them for the judges, but I don't want them to negatively impact the players that much.
Yeah. Like that judgment call is so arbitrary if it is up to the judge to turn out.
The main thing is like it's just gonna be super hard to enforce.
Well,
Oh yeah.
The biggest thing is like it's not just for ProQuest levels; it's also for anything higher than that, right?
Yeah.
So
I think anything higher than honestly, I think if we're not talking about ProQuest specifically,
Yeah.
I'm on board with all of this.
Yeah.
I
so
think,
like there's like feels bads from like the people that got DQ'd at Worlds last year, or even like I think there was a Nats where someone lost their winning in and then their opponent got in because of like some wording that they said. Like, just play the fucking game.
I'm happy to do that in every event, but specifically ProQuest.
RTMs.
RTNs are different.
Just play them out because top 4 is what.
'Cause it's
matters.
top
Yeah,
four.
like,
Top
fun,
four
yeah.
is-
Okay,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like I'd be scooping in round 5 with Swiss.
You're
Like,
just going for gold
Yeah.
at that point.
Each and
That's
one.
very I mean, obviously, I have a vested interest in this. My general philosophy is I like to see more games played. The main thing I want to avoid, I think, is one of the issues that TCGs have had historically, especially because of Magic's prominence, is that people don't take it seriously as a competitive like strategy game, and a good portion of that is because they see like these IDs and they see these like prize splits in top 8, and they're just like, what's going on here? Why aren't they playing? Why are they avoiding playing the game, right? And so I think that's the general reasoning behind a lot of these changes, where it's like, I want people to play the game more. It all depends on how it's worded, of course. But I think the whole like prize split, like you should scoop to me because I have a vested interest in winning, but you don't, is something that I'd like to avoid in general. Obviously, you can't. It's going to be very tough at the local level. I think at the local level, everybody's friends and everyone wants everybody to benefit. I think that's the main thing that's driving this, which is why am I forced to screw over my friend? But obviously at the national level, when even second place gets like a decent prize, I don't think it's an issue.
Yeah.
And if they implement this change for professional REL, I don't think that's an issue.
Is a ProQuest competitive? Like,
ProQuest is competitive. So
okay.
there's casual, competitive, and professional. Professional is day 2 of Nats,
Right.
and everything like tier 4 and 3.
Okay.
Like, here's the thing: it's unspoken, but people even split on calling cash prizes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's unspoken, but like playoffs, they totally don't do it. for the judges.
but no. They'll do it like usually like wink, wink, nudge, nudge, but they'll still play the game.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, it's good content, right? Especially if they're streaming the calling, which
Yeah.
most of them are right now, it's really good content.
Yeah.
For them, which I think is something we can.
It's the disparity between getting 8th versus getting 2nd or
Yeah.
first.
Yes.
It's a huge money.
Yeah.
difference.
There's a huge money problem, but I think at the same time, though, you still get a PTI, you get a gold foil, right? So there's still like that stuff. But yeah, the monetary is a huge piece too.
I think the biggest thing is when you think about a lot of players, they don't have too much of when they invest all this time into a big tournament, they don't have enough of like a cushion when they inevitably scrub out or lose, right? That's what teams are for basically. They're there as like partially as a cushion for you to be like, okay, well, even though I scrubbed out, I still have my support group. I still have like some accomplishments to my name. But for a lot of individual players, it's very hard where it's like, oh, if I don't make at least top 8, I don't get my flight paid for, and I'm out $2,000 because I paid for my flight, I paid for my hotel room. And I think that drives a lot of the culture for the grinder level players. So it's tough because the solution I'm thinking of just involves add more money to the game. But that's not necessarily realistic. So
Money's fake. You just-
yeah, that's true. It's true. They do that. They shredded gold tunics for it.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, I think if you make the top 8 pricing, especially for PQs, a little bit more equitable, I don't think people would have as much of an issue.
But that's not up to the game itself. That's up to like the tournament, the TOs.
It's up to the TOs,
like that,
yeah.
right? Because like the one of the ones that Austin won was a significantly higher prize pool than the one that I won.
Yeah.
Because mine was based on the match win percent or the win loss ratio going in top 8, which was $45. He won $200 something. So he won a case. I won a couple packs.
Yeah.
Classic battle hard in 9th place, go home.
Yeah.
No PTI event, take 2nd.
Yeah. Nothing.
Just pay for your lunch. Like,
and definitely like the pricing structure. We're going off topic, but the pricing structure for PQs is definitely something that's really difficult for a lot of like TOs, where one, most TOs still want to make some amount of money.
Sure.
And 2, it's that if you award it to based off of standings, you always have somebody who has the same record but bubbles out. Or if you award it based off of Swiss, then nobody in top 8's really playing for anything except the actual prizes that the LSS provides.
Yeah. But again, I think though that just comes back down to the problem of we want the players to play, which in Magic at a Grand Prix level, we have people who were able to get enough buys. Like I had 2 buys going in, Austin had 2 buys. We would be able to sleep in, not have to play the first 2 rounds, and we would benefit by playing less.
Yes.
And I think that's something that Flesh and Blood in the Swiss has done a really good job in, because you don't have to play 9, 10 round tournaments.
Yep.
You play 7, which I think is the highest amount of rounds I've seen in a day 1. Correct me if I'm wrong there, but 7 rounds is very doable. 10 rounds is a nightmare.
Yeah, we've had 8 once.
I think I played 8 in the LL battle.
Okay.
Yeah, that's battle hardened because that's miserable.
It's one day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, shout out to Final Cut for price supports in the region.
Oh,
Fun
yeah.
Cut, what
I
up?
love that
Great,
story.
great.
Oh,
SoCal level
yeah.
pricing.
Yeah.
So Final Cut also stocks the Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar Cream Sodas.
Oh, yeah.
Which are
That's what I want.
actually just the best sodas on the planet. I just want to point I get one. We literally race to the fridge. Like you show up, and if you're early to a tournament, you get one of those. And if you're not early to a tournament, you do not get one of those.
Cool. You guys want to add anything?
Let it
I
all
mean,
out.
Sounds like you want to answer.
at least-
Let it all out.
Well, previously I was already kind of within a small group saying that I think the pricing for top 8 was like very unbalanced.
What do you?
Um,
In which way?
So it's like you get top 8,
Yeah.
you get some kind of everybody gets an equal promo, and then it's like only if you get first you get anything more for like local events.
Sure.
And
And you're talking about the things that are provided by LSS.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, NorCal, I always am like, we're not getting anything for anything from the stores, which is because it's expensive to run stores here, blah blah blah. But I think that in my mind, making it so first gets everything and second gets nothing makes it so people who get to the finals don't want to flip the coin. Especially if it's somebody where it's like it's your first time in the finals, you're like, I don't want to make it all the way here and like go home with nothing more than And so I would love to see there being something more equitable between first and second. Like, if they made it so first always gets a gold foil majestic, and then second gets a gold foil common, something like that.
I mean, that's
Or
sick, yeah.
what if you could do something like first gets a gold foil, whatever the tier is, but the rest of the top 8 gets a cold foil.
Yeah, like
as a
something like
certain
that.
Thing like that,
Yeah.
right?
So
PQ top 8 used to be Cold Full
Yeah.
Heroes.
Yeah,
it's like Rainbow
Civic.
yeah,
Foil.
because now there's marbles, which
Yeah.
is why we don't
Yeah.
have cold foil.
Those
Yeah.
cold foil heroes were like 100, 150.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah,
get,
they're
you get a
great.
Benjamin
Yeah.
every time you top 8 a Pro Quest.
Yeah.
It's so sick. Yeah.
So I think that change makes it, for me, like I think previously I would not, like for RTNs, I'm like, let's play it out. Like who cares? But this one I'm like, whoa. It's like, yeah. Because it's, because you make top 4 and you're like, I'm locked for Nats. The rest is gravy on top.
Just
And
playing
then
for the cold
PQ,
foil.
it's like, I gotta walk away with something. I can't make the finals, go home a loser, and have nothing. I'd be like,
Yeah.
so it's like,
Before
So-
foil Kasai's gathering dust.
yeah, exactly. So, yeah, like something
Oh,
else,
Betsy.
I think
Oh, Betsy.
maybe just to balance it could make it so this change feels like a complete positive,
Mhm.
where it's like we made it harder to split, but we also made it so you don't feel like you need to split to have some value. I think that would be great. I also worry about my implementing this as a judge because I now judge like once or twice a season. And like each was saying, it's like all buds, and you don't want to have somebody step beyond the line, and I have to like be like, hey, sorry, dog,
You guys shut
you're
that shit down,
getting
yeah.
disqualified,
Yeah.
and now we have to have a like. I'm trying to pick for
You still get
like,
for lunch
it feels really
tomorrow?
like,
Like,
yeah, so it feels
I got
really
I got IP3 and then I went to dinner with the guys. So
Yeah.
like,
but I mean, it feels, it's an awkward situation we put in. So I'm like, I think it comes from a good place of change, but I'm like, also we haven't seen apparently the whole write up, but I don't know. Immediately I was like, ooh, I'm kind of scared, but I want to trust now with this.
It can never be too bad for me because I like to play for all the marbles. So it's like
because you're an asshole. Cheers.
Gamer.
Gamer.
Oh, sorry. Is that what we're calling it? A
Yeah.
gamer.
Yeah.
Speaking of gamer.
Oliver, what do you think?
I'm
Just play for fun. Yeah.
pretty enduring. He just plays for fun, bro.
Yeah, that's
He
true.
plays a deck that's not good, no matter what deck it is. Just ask him, he'll tell you it's not good.
Yeah.
Tells you how to beat them.
I don't
You
know.
should have just done
It's-
this, and this.
It's fine. Like Miles, like I was actually thinking what Miles was saying. LSS needs to increase the price pool just so it's just like less disparity between the first and second place.
It's like volatility.
Yeah.
I think flooding the market with cold foils is not going to do much to the actual secondhand market. So I think if you start introducing that, if anything, that'll probably increase tournament sizing because now there's more price support. People can get a random cold foil that they want for their deck, like the ones like the Energy Pop, EPOP from LA.
Yeah.
No one can
Yeah, like
get
a
that.
tier
now.
like that. Yeah.
That's a phenomenal card, and they're having the which one in Nationals?
like Flip Flag.
Time snap.
Time Snap Potion.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Again, you're only gonna get that
So
there.
fucking pretty.
Introducing that as an option to now give out to top 8, albeit first or whatever, or
Yeah.
it was
Or
phenomenal.
top 2, yeah.
I think that's
give
great.
Give it the top 2.
This is the first season that they did like Rainbow
Yeah.
Flows. So
Yeah.
Top 4.
it's
Yeah.
a step in the wrong
Oh, yeah.
direction.
Yes.
Well, last season we got Jubil.
That was like the
That
winner.
was a-
Oh, you still got
that was-
the yeah.
That was RTN.
Oh,
That was an RTN.
Oh, it was RTN.
I would take that
Oh,
over
that was
Rainbow Flow
sweet.
Betsy.
Yeah, that's
any
Oh,
day.
that's
Dude, I don't care. I got beat by Betsy,
Yeah, I got the
so
Oh my
Top
god, the
eight.
sleeves.
I might
yeah.
Rainbow Flow on the card.
let's skip
one.
this one. Okay, I'm gonna do last one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The sleeves are the worst. Sleeves are the worst.
Yeah.
I think the
So
I guess Marvel's in the set feels good for more people, like even the non-competitive people. So I get it. But
Give us Marvel.
So-
Marvel of
Charlotte?
the Sacred Arts.
If they
Flip them
took
out
the
way to
alt arts they
Yeah.
reserved for the side events at Nats and gave 2 for every like pro quest, I don't think people would complain.
So like side question then
Oh,
for your
is that
the
not
gold
what's
pack.
bad?
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about? There,
No, no.
pack?
No,
like
no, no.
just complete aside since we're talking about the Marvels.
But that's-
The gold pack randomization in like what 1 in 25 is the current
1 in 20.
1 in 20 is the current thought. Like, what are your all thoughts on that? Because it's basically a box topper, but at random, right? And as far as I know, it's only got the one.
It's a Willy
young
Wonka
Enigma.
ticket.
We know that
It's
there's
a Willy Wonka ticket
Yeah.
within a Willy Wonka envelope.
We know there's something else because they said
quarters.
something about the rarities not guaranteed.
Yeah.
Okay.
He actually confirmed this on his recent interview with Fluke, James White. There's 100 Marvel Enigma New Moons
Total.
Sick.
total.
Is it-
In all, and it's printed in not just Japanese boxes,
Okay, but it's Japanese specific.
but it is the
right?
Japanese. Oh, it's not.
Yeah.
No,
Japanese.
it's the
like
it's,
the new
it's
moon one. The
the
green border in here.
Oh, that
The
one.
young
Oh,
only.
sorry.
Young.
Yeah.
Because I saw the Marvel Japanese Enigma, and she is fucking
Yeah,
beautiful.
that is
Card
amazing.
is- that might be the prettiest card.
Yeah.
Hands down.
We can make that a next question. What do you guys think about gold packs? I know people have
I
mixed
want-
feelings.
I
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
feelings about that. Okay, so
Oh, cheers.
Well,
Cheers.
Also, he's getting it.
oh, wait,
I gotta get my drink.
I was
Can you
ready.
wait? Jesus.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's gonna get sloshed.
Okay.
Good thing he doesn't drive.
So I really like the gold packs. One thing I think people don't realize is like they see so many people buying singles of Flesh and Blood and everything, and they're like, LSS is doing really well financially, really well. If anybody like watched the interview or read the article,
Yeah.
they're doing very, very well. But like the secondary market does not profit LSS in any way, shape, or form. The only thing it does is buying sealed product and things like that. And so Flesh and Blood moves not a lot of sealed product.
Yeah.
Everybody buys singles. I feel like the Flesh and Blood community. Yeah, I mean, I think the Flesh and Blood community is a lot more mature and here for the game. It's a player's game. Right?
Yeah.
So people aren't just like cracking packs to try to like resell and stuff.
I mean, that's kind of why UPF is becoming more and more popular for that, like fun
I've
value.
still never seen a single person play UPF in my entire life.
Nice.
Final Cut has run UPF tournaments.
But basically, I think anything to make like the sealed product more desirable without infringing upon actual competitive play. And I do not count Blitz as competitive play. And after listening to Luke Box's interview with James White, we now know that LSS does not either. Which I think is good. I think Blitz should be like the casual format.
Yes, let's do it right now.
Cheers. And I think this is like the perfect way to do it. It doesn't. You don't have to crack boxes to try to hit your. We can drink. Sorry, guys.
You're spitting, bro.
He's spitting.
You don't have to crack boxes to try to hit the $80 single that you need 3 of to compete. But if you want to crack boxes, there's a little extra incentive. And I want chase cards in boxes. I want an excuse to buy a box. I literally have not bought a pack of Flesh and Blood since Uprising. Miss Vale is the first set I'm going to be buying sealed product for.
Nice.
And I'm really excited about it because there's a lot of chase things that I want, collectability wise, monetary wise, right? Plus, there's things to really good set. And that's mostly why I'm buying it. But like, I want these incentives. I want LSS to make a lot of money because I think they deserve it. And the more money they make, the better they can facilitate things like competitive play. And whatnot. So that's my
Have
stance.
more
I was
money
trying to
flushed
stop you
into
too.
like
More
OP.
money. Yeah, exactly.
Have him explain.
We didn't talk about the alcohol.
Oh, sorry.
We're getting ahead of ourselves.
I got so excited about
Sorry.
Japanese marbles.
Kirkland brand whiskey. Let's talk about this.
Yeah. So
single malt.
this is a 22-year Speyside. These were barrels purchased by Costco and bottled and batched. These are 22 years minimum. This in particular, I believe, is aged in port
Sherry cask.
or sherry cask. Okay.
Is it in the front? Is that how you know?
So no hate on Costco whatsoever. These higher age stated whiskeys like malts are really good. There's an 18, a 22, and a 24 year. I had the 24 and I really enjoyed that one, and I got this 22 one and I thought I was gonna enjoy it, but this is just way too sweet for me. It's too much sherry. This is like one of those things where like the barrel influence just goes way over the top and you have less whiskey to drink. It's just more sherry.
I just want to say that the previous one wasn't as bad as I thought.
Really?
Yeah.
I hated it.
It went down smooth.
You mean like
Sounds like someone's
like
wrong with it.
level.
It went down smooth, and then after a while, I wanted
the
the
first one I
cough.
think sucked.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can tolerate the first one.
Okay, you're gonna hate this.
Oh god.
I've been impressed with like Costco brand almost everything.
They're just really good
Oh,
value.
yeah.
By the way, this is 22-year malt, and it was $85.
Are you impressed with Costco vodka? Because it's pretty much great.
Yeah, it's
In a
solid.
way bigger
like,
bottle.
in a way bigger
Giant
bottle.
for half
It's
the
not
price.
great.
It's not great,
But
but it's solid.
So it is.
It's made in
Yeah.
Grey Goose
It's the same.
facility.
No way.
Yeah, it's the same facility.
It's
So
the
they
same
label it-
facility, but it's not Grey Goose.
Well, sure. I mean, somebody fact checked us.
No.
Put it in the comments. I don't know.
I don't want my dreams.
Great Grey Goose, enjoyers, pleplease comment.
I
They're
use
literally
Kirkland
dozens
sheets
of
and they're phenomenal and super cheap. Like I have like Kirkland clothes. It's like, and they're great. I don't know. They're just like always cheap and always good stuff.
Consistent.
Yeah.
Shout out Costco.
Yeah.
Shout out Costco hot dogs, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
What,
$1.50
$1.50 forever?
Dude, I tried to just buy the hot dog and they're like, don't do that. It's like $2. Just buy the combo. I was like, oh,
For the combo.
Yeah.
I don't know. They just told me not to buy the hot dog.
What?
You what?
I gotta go.
Going to Costco tomorrow.
Just for a hot dog?
Good
Just
news.
for a hot dog.
So we
Yeah.
have the Majin here. Who do you want from next? From
Anyone else have an opinion on gold packs?
Is
100%.
anybody con gold pack?
I hate it because I'm not buying boxes because I can't afford it. So I'm jealous of everybody else.
Unlucky, bro.
So I'm gonna watch everyone else have fun and crack open these gold packs, and I'm just sitting here like,
I'm not negative on it.
well,
I'm very negative on things that drive prices up, the MSRP up, for no reason.
Mhm.
So, for example, Shane, the One Ring
Yeah.
drove Magic that Lord of the Rings set up. The stores were selling the boxes for way over MSRP, specifically because that card was in there. The moment the card was found, nobody sold any boxes.
It went down like 70%.
So I think the pack itself isn't a one-of special, which is great. So it's not going to just be like we got the one golden ticket. Which is phenomenal because it allows other people to get it. We don't know how many packs are going to be in there available. If it's 1 in 20, I mean, there could be thousands in the market. Who knows?
Yeah.
So I think that is where this is a positive thing, like Naj was saying, for the market to be selling the product as long as it doesn't increase MSRP.
Yep.
The moment stores start increasing the price, the box costs, I'm out. That's the negative thing I have. So as long as they do that, we're good.
Yeah. So one thing that drives local stores, LGSs, to not pick up Flesh and Blood is because it's not sellable.
So don't sell product.
This is a good step forward to that. I wasn't a fan of like we keep going back to Magic, but it is really the prime standard of
Yes.
games.
Yeah.
Box toppers have kind of skewed the prices of things pretty intensively for just like the regular version of something. It's like, I opened this thing. Oh, it's only $2. Oh, right? Yeah. And then but now that it's going to be something that drives sales and drives people to open more boxes.
We've had some good box toppers though, like Team Covenant promos.
Yeah.
Well, like
Sure.
it's not really a box topper, but like the SCG promos or the TCG player promos, like for people that don't collect those promos, they sell them and then they have a case that's cheaper than
Those are
MSRP,
promos.
right?
I'm talking about like things that like Marvels was a great addition.
Oh, right.
I think it's great.
Like opening inside the box.
Yeah.
I think what was the one for Magic? The taking on the turn shuffling.
Nexus
Nexus Face was probably the worst card ever printed in history. That was an exclusive, just as a top box topper. You had to buy 4 whatever boxes to get it from 4 different stores because you only get 1 per purchase.
Was it Rainbow Foil too?
It was basically Rainbow Foil for those, and it would curve. So you have to go then to a judge, and then you have to get a land that's on your deck, which is usually just a mountain. You have to have them sign it. It was a nightmare of a card that you could never get unless you paid hundreds of dollars for this card.
Hard to find.
Yeah.
The
So-
crack bobble, baby.
So I think that was a huge mistake, in my opinion.
It is nice that this one is not competitive necessary. So I think that's a big
Because it's Blitz, and that's not a real format.
Yeah, it is not. I think that's where a lot of people are like, this is not bad. But if it was like a competitive staple, then you're like, I don't know.
I think that's
card's like really good though.
I think that's kind of the problem.
Like
though,
very valuable.
that there are Blitz events, like there's a Blitz Battle Hardened coming up, and the new Blaze card is a Blitz specific card, which is limited to just a couple of cons.
Yeah, it's also gonna be the skirmish prize.
That makes it a lot.
Yeah.
So they revealed that because
They
in the original article, they only said it's going to be in this one con in Europe and like 2 or 3 more.
Yeah, so
the skirmish available card, and I think that opens it up quite a bit more.
Yeah, so James confirmed in his interview that Blaze is going to be part of the skirmish season prizing.
I should probably watch the interview, but this is a good conversation
Yeah.
without watching the interview.
Yeah.
I do not want to see Blitz Battle Hardens if you're going to be putting cards like Enigma New Moon in a lottery.
Yeah,
I do not want to see them.
That's right.
Anything with transferable PTIs or cash prizes should not have pay to win heroes.
Yep.
Or pay to acquire.
That's fair.
I will say that is a nice thing that you bring that up. The PTIs that are transferable is a phenomenal difference between Magic and Flesh and Blood. That, like, I have 5. I want to go with my best friend. I'll give him 1. We fly together.
Yep.
You've got multiple. In Magic, you've got the Pro Tour. It's hard enough to defer that if you need to.
Yep.
So, like, the fact that you have that in this game is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it gives players who don't need it extra money as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Unless you're ready.
Oh, you're allowed to do it.
Oh,
You're allowed to sell.
You're allowed to sell.
Okay, cool.
They're totally fine with you selling it.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah, FYI.
allowed to sell PTIs, but not ProQuest or Pro
Top-
Tour invites.
Yes.
But you can't talk about prizes though.
Yeah.
While you're in the tournament.
Yeah.
You can't consider up for prices. Yeah.
Exactly.
So,
Anybody else have an opinion on gold packs?
I mean, it's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the people are concerned, like, oh, people are gonna weigh boxes. Like, okay.
You're not getting white boxes.
No, like,
and then
if
it's
you're
like,
doing that,
oh, if
for-
there's a draft, what happens with it? Like, well, it's
But I
not
mean,
part of you get
like,
your packs. Like,
Does a rainbow
like a
foil weigh
nomination.
more than a
Fight
gold
to the
foil,
death.
right? Like,
Yeah.
Simon, so
Whoever
it's not
whoever
gonna-
3-0s the draft gets it.
That yes.
Yeah.
So
It
to
won't
address
be
that specifically about the weighing boxes, modern card games from Pokemon, Magic, everything, they are not weighable. Used to be that they used to be pretty weighable, but now there's enough variance between cards and between packs that a 9 to 12 gram difference isn't. I mean, you can like say that these are the heavier boxes, so they're more likely to contain them, but it's not.
It's not guaranteed.
It's not guaranteed.
Yeah.
So if you open 1,000 heavier boxes as opposed to 1,000 not heavier boxes,
You should, like,
you have a
hit
higher
more.
likelihood.
Yeah.
To, like,
That's good. Sure.
Yeah.
Versus when you get OG Pokemon pack, like this is a 0.21 gram pack, that is guaranteed.
Yeah, people are just like, oh, this is a heavy pack. You'll guarantee get good
And
stuff.
then
Yeah.
you get them, so they,
Yeah.
it
and
makes
then
sense.
it's the worst hollow. You
Yeah.
lose money.
No, even the worst hollows in the OG Pokemon sets are still worth a lot of money.
I got a heavy base set pack at home, and I've been staring at it for like 3 years. I'm like, but I don't want to open a bad hollow.
I'll give you $350 for it. I'll give you this bottle that Franche is like.
Cool. Let's move on to our last question, which is going to be a little bit more for
A
fun.
fun question.
With a fun drink, right?
Fun drink. Yeah.
We haven't had a lot of cards errata'd. So if there is one thing that you would like to errata in the game, what would it be?
Spectre.
Spectre.
Spectrum fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Okay, but
Play Dash.
what about Spectre
All
would
of it.
you?
No.
Everything.
Okay, one card. So you can only errata Spectre once.
Genesis.
Arclight.
Oh, actually, Arclight. That's better.
Absolutely, Arclight's
Arclight, yeah.
Dang, Oliver, do you
It's
feel
not
attacked?
No, because Arclight's in front of
How about we,
me.
Yeah.
how about we just change the question? We all know Spectre is a little.
Okay.
Close your ears.
Yeah. Okay.
Spectre is a little.
Except for
Except for
Spectra,
Spectra, yeah, I'll do
what
that.
would you like?
Copers, get good. I'd play this guy at every armory. You just have to get good. You just have to grind it out. You have to grind.
There's the get good.
Yeah, that's actually unironically my stance on Spectre, but I don't
That's
know. Not Kano. Sorry, but anybody else get good.
Okay.
Well, Spectre's well, you don't care because you can't do anything anyways.
We can take
I absolutely care because I can't do anything about it. It's
we can take
horrible.
errata or ban.
Or my official stance is play high octane.
No,
and you-
specifically errata.
Oh, specifically.
I think
Specifically
you should
errata.
go about it by like maybe we be very careful with Light Illusionist in the future, and you just never print Spectre ever again. I think that's kind of what I would
Isn't
do.
that kind of what they've already done? They haven't printed a Spectre for a while.
They have not,
What?
and I hope they don't ever do it
Yeah,
again.
yeah, I think
but
so.
New Prism still can like A-list, like
Yeah.
do bullshit.
So we'll wait for French though to come and
So
tell us about the alcohol.
this is a 22-year-old
Mhm.
Craigellachie.
Mm-hmm.
This is a very special bottle that is part of the Exceptional Cask series.
Mhm.
It is expensive. This was $250. I love Craigellachie as a distillery and their bottlings, but this special bottle just did not do it for me. I absolutely hate it. I think it's way too sweet, and there's this very sharp sulfur note.
That is yes.
Yeah, that smells
like
like
a rotten egg.
Really
Okay,
cuts
that's what I
through
think.
everything.
Yeah.
You just can't ignore it. And I know
What?
there's very few people that actually enjoy it, but I could not get past it.
I mean, it's
And,
exceptional. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Exceptionally bad.
So
Yep. Cheers.
94. Whoa.
Thanks again for coming in. I know it's a far drive for you.
Oh, it was great.
I got to play Tower Star the whole time.
And I get to listen to my audio on the way back.
I'm excited about that. Actually.
Yeah. 2 hours? Yeah.
All right, YOLO.
This cask was filled.
Oh, God.
This was filled 2 days before I was born.
Ah.
France. This is 2 days before I was born. It was filled. That's crazy.
That was
It's your birthright.
I hope not.
it.
when
It
was
is very sweet.
When's your birthday?
This
With
is
our
It's
reaction,
sweet
yeah.
and it's so
Absurdly sweet.
Yours like
sulfur
3 days.
oh, thank you.
But I've-
You're 22nd.
Yeah.
I'm 15th. I was like, we're either one day apart. or
You're
a lot.
older than that.
Besties.
You guys are seniors?
Yeah. I know some too.
Youngins.
It's 28, man. That's the new
That's, what is it?
25. I don't know.
I think you're kind of close. Actually.
Oh,
That
Oh.
fucking sucked, dude.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
Oh.
That's rough.
that's
a
very
one.
rough. Yep, no more.
Oh.
You're welcome,
Yeah.
France.
So older than me.
All right, I'm glad you guys
What
got the
was the
same
question?
reaction from me.
Yeah, no, that was.
Lodge is over there sitting with his nice mixed drinks.
Yeah.
Oh, the errata.
The errata, yeah. What
I
would
would-
you errata?
I would errata skeleton and not work on X's so you could unban it.
Oh, that'd be so sick.
That would actually be cool.
That'd be
Yeah.
so cool. Yeah.
That'd be super
I would
cool.
be merciful. I'd
Next
my
auto-
enemy out of banish. Man.
I loved Skeletor. Like Skeletor Viscera was so fun.
The only time I ever stopped playing Fab was during Skeletor. I played Ryan in a skirmish. I
Oh,
was playing-
Blitz Skeletor Viscera was.
I was playing
the most busted
Icelander,
game.
and I was like channel like frigid, and he was like,
Oh, kill you. Yeah.
I think I just killed you, and I was like,
I think. Okay. Have we seen anything more busted than Blitz Skeletor Viscera? Blitz Skeletor Viscera was way better than Starvo ever was in his respective format. Like
Stubby Fi.
I think
I
people
don't know.
Stubby Fi.
I think it's
talk
up there. I think it's up there.
crazy about Stubby Fi. It was not that overpowered. You can
But what
see it
about,
in
like,
LL
he
now.
won with
It's
it.
not
What
so
about
overpowered.
Wildfire and Blitz before that was suspended.
I never played it.
Okay, that was
Yeah.
pretty.
I didn't get
disgusting.
to. I never played Blitz, but I thought it
Like
was
two
really good.
card just kill them.
before all
Ooh.
the extra Spellblade stuff got printed and things.
Yeah.
Duskblade.
No.
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 What
Dude,
if they-
Skeletor,
what if they
Skeletor
allowed
Viscera,
studies?
if it went first in the mirror, it won almost 100% of the time because
That's
they
bad.
always kill you on their next turn.
It's just 2 power. That's
It's
bad.
like, oh yeah, become the archetype. Read the runes. Go ahead.
That's true.
Can you deal 28 because I have a fridge for no reason?
I will stand on that business that I think Stubby's Fi. People like really overreacted.
I think you can bring it back.
Crazy.
You can
I
bring
think
it
if
back.
it was the best deck, I
'Cause
would
I think-
absolutely not play Flash.
No, that's fair. But I think there's a lot of decks people say that about, and then it's like not ever gonna happen.
I ate half
But
of that.
Levy is too good.
To
Wow,
get
I
the
wouldn't
food
play
right
it.
now,
This
so
is
you
too
can
good.
have the other
That's
half
like,
if you want.
I'd be okay if Levy was too good.
You just broke it off.
that would be cute. That's
I didn't bite it.
Just
Buy
make
a
sure.
bit. It just.
Just for you.
So since it's not being played as much anymore now, I think Errata and Warmongers
You really
would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
So instead of saying like you can only play this or that, how about instead like these lose go again? So that way you could still kind of like loophole if you have a class or hero that can get multiple action points or play it for free.
So you can only play one.
One of each. What about that? Like you can play one non-attack, one attack action.
Yeah.
Do
Or
we need to errata?
I don't think so.
Warmongers? It hasn't
I don't-
done anything.
I don't know.
Yeah,
It stops your hero.
It's
not my hero,
It does.
yeah.
It does not. Feel like
Does it?
special
Your hero's been okay.
It's
That's
been
what I
it's been fine.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It does feel-
But to be fair, I haven't been warmongered like the entire PQ season.
That's true.
so-
Well, it's a do nothing.
Yeah.
It's a titanium bubble.
Yeah.
Until you play against Azalea.
Or you just attack with one arrow.
It's also like
it was good into Dromai ish.
it was okay with
Yeah.
Dromai. Yeah, and it's good into like this and stuff. But the issue with Warmongers is that like it's not just like, oh, for free I get to shut down this Azalea. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
you have to sign up for doing absolutely nothing on your turn, unless you're playing like Katsu, right? You do nothing on your turn. You get up an entire card, so that's at least 3 points to slow you down. But if you, let's say they go like go again attack and you get to block a bit, and then they Warmongers you, and you're like, okay, remorseless you. That's not good for you, like
Yeah.
as the Warmongers player. Sometimes it blows you the fuck out. But
Yeah. I think. Well, it was mainly designed to like stop Lexi, right? Originally. And it
Yeah.
didn't
It
do
didn't.
that.
It
didn't do it.
It didn't do that because
You just
L
play.
before was like same.
I'm just gonna play trench. He's like evil.
Yeah.
I'm washing
I
down
run
one mixed drink with another mixed drink.
Savage.
It's Goddington.
I would probably do merciful. I don't like that the auras and tokens that you give to your opponents
Oh.
can ping you for the, merciful's benefits.
Frostbite dealing a damage to you was
Frostbite dealing
so
damage to
dumb.
you, yeah. I'm like giving Oliver like triple frailty with like with like a blood rod and then like I'm taking 8. Yeah.
That's
Oh my
you.
God.
That's you.
I cannot wait for the Armory deck to come out. I hate that it's coming out after Nats because like the testing I've done with the cards that have been spoiled. Mid-range Bolton is just sick.
Dude, that defense reaction is so good.
It's so good. I have 6 soul shields. How great is that?
Yeah.
How great is that? And then it's just like at the end of the game, like building up soul to beacon bomb somebody is so easy. It's almost brain dead easy how easy it
You're
is.
gonna spare bomb people now?
I mean, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I don't like though that it gives a lot of percentage points for combo Bolton because if you're gonna play a combo deck, just play Kano. Like it's just better. It's outright better. It's more fun to play. Combo Bolton, you're just
Somehow your cards in Kano are actually better than Combo Bones cards.
it's just like you do nothing as combo Bolton until one turn in the game, and either you win it or you don't. You don't do anything.
Yeah. Cringe.
Luna should get like that's another run.
Mhm.
Tell a certain person here.
Listen, look, Lumina. Let's leave that card alone. It's
Lumina's
it's
fine.
fine and fair
It's currently fine.
It's kind of
until Spirit's out on the board, and then you get hit triple Lumina, and then you're out of the game.
I do want to see. We were pointing at, I don't know if the camera can see, but we were pointing at the Bolton Armory deck like ad. I want to see at least one Armory deck per set. I'd like to see 2.
Yeah.
I think it's such a great product.
So
Yes.
with that, would you want to see if we let's say we do two because we're doing two this year, right? We did one for the recent heavy hitter set that just came out earlier this year, and then we're doing one
Let's
for,
kill the first one.
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
which one we have ProQuest.
Yeah.
Sash OP, and then one for like a historical one that's still around, right? I think that could be really good to benefit like a hero that's not seen a lot of play and bring them back up to the spotlight.
Like Bolton.
Like Bolton. Oh, Bolton's a great example. What if we did that?
Wow.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
What about a Dromai?
I don't know.
Dead hero.
I want to see two a set.
Oh, a set.
Yes.
So we're talking like 6 a year.
Yes.
Okay.
I want people.
Loved everything.
So many people I feel like I introduced so many people to Flesh and Blood, and they always say, "How do I get into Flesh and Blood?" And I have to tell them, "Go to your locals, ask to borrow cards."
Yeah.
They will let you borrow cards, but like that's a big step for people. It's just
Yeah,
like, I'm
Because
gonna
then you
show
don't know
them
what to
cards.
do. You
Yeah.
don't know the color.
You're shy basically.
It's so like when I look at other card games, because every now and then me and my brother would be at a store playing Magic or whatever, and we just like buy starter decks of fucking Digimon
Yeah.
or Weiss Schwartz. I don't even know. Just like literally any game, and we just play $20 starter decks against each other and have a blast all day.
I think though, like the KO starter deck is phenomenal. I think honestly, between that deck and say the ProQuest winning season decks, there's like 20 card difference.
It's a well made deck, but
Sure.
that's not my
yeah.
point. Is that like I don't know? Maybe I'm
need
biased
options.
because you need options. I'm biased. I have like 7 siblings, right? So like when we go to do stuff,
Jeez,
I
bro.
have 7 siblings. So when we get things, we're a lot of times interested in the same things, but you want slightly different of the same things.
Yeah.
I get Pokemon Gold, you get Pokemon Silver.
yeah.
Right.
It's always
we
my choice
trade
first.
The other
Pokemon,
5,
right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So like
I'm talking red and blue over here. Jeez.
yeah, I go to the store with my boy because people usually don't pick up card games by themselves.
Yep.
Go to the store with your boy. You're more of a KO person. I'm just pointing. This is
Yeah.
not specifically
I
you,
think
right?
it was like definitely not.
You right? Like you're more
played
of a
it.
KO person. Maybe I'm more of a Kasai person
Mhm.
or a Holden person. We should have these. You should look and see 4 different play styles, and they say aggressive, fast-paced, hard-hitting.
Yeah.
This one methodical, defensive. Right? Like
Well,
you should be able to.
But they kind of did that with the Blitz decks,
Yeah, but
right? Like,
Yeah, I don't care about
Blitz
blitz decks,
decks.
and neither does James White.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. But I think if you ask anybody and they go, "Ooh, I tried to get this blitz," because people a lot of times will see the blitz decks like available and then go, "Is this a good place to start?" And everybody goes,
No.
"No,
No.
yeah,"
Yeah.
which is not.
So much right.
Yeah.
It was a good
I would say
idea,
yes.
but the blitz.
I think
Okay.
it's a
Alright,
good
chill.
place to start.
If you have other people to play blitz with,
Yes.
it's a
Yeah.
good place to start.
I don't, but I think the problem here is like you're wanting people to learn the game. I think Blitz decks is a great starting point to learning the game because the difference between Blitz and non-Blitz, it's like classic constructed, isn't as different when you're learning.
Sure.
You're talking about competitive level play of classic constructed versus Blitz, huge difference.
Okay,
Right.
you're on Reddit. You're interested in Flesh Blood. You see, you make a post.
Yeah.
I'm interested in trying the game. How do I try the game? So it's this blitz deck. You go to the local store. You buy a blitz deck. You show up on Wednesday to play Flesh and Blood. You say, "Hey guys, I have my deck. Like, I'd love to. Can you guys help me teach you how to play? I'd love to start playing some games." And everyone says, "No, we don't have fucking blitz decks."
I think but the opposite is like, hey, you want to learn how to play the game? Let me get a Blitz deck from the store. We'll play Blitz together.
You can, but also I could say, buy that deck. Everything you need.
Yeah,
Sure.
Yeah.
I think
Pick one of these 4
I think
flavors.
there's 2 sides.
we
to
did.
it.
We started. That's how the game started.
I'm
Well,
totally
had
not disagreeing with you
starter
that
decks,
that is a better introduction to the game to what we currently have as far as an introduction to the game, right?
Yeah.
Is like we have something that does that, you want to make it better. And I think that's kind of we're in agreement, we're saying the same thing.
Mhm.
But we're just trying to start them a little slower in the whole
Yeah.
like games.
So FYI, Imagine, we do have two more armor decks coming out this year,
Okay.
and we have
Including Bolton.
not including Bolton.
Oh really?
Excluding-
Oh, I didn't know that.
Jesus,
Okay.
can you reveal?
They've already revealed it.
Yeah.
They've already said that.
It's a strike.
They're
we-
coming.
No. First strike is different.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Oh,
it-
it's
it's-
That's Japan only.
so first strike. No, it's not Japan only.
What?
Okay, let me be
Let's get to the
Alice's
point.
product. Let me be Alice's product. Okay, we have four army decks coming out. KO Bolton was the first 2.
Yeah.
We have 2 more for the end of the towards the end of the
One
year.
of Betsy.
No, we don't
Actually,
know.
we don't know.
We don't know. And then starting from next year, they will be doing blitz decks. Army decks. Their plan is about 1 per every 2 months, so they have products to fill for stores.
Yeah, in between like.
And-
So 1.5%.
Yeah,
Seems like-
1.5%. And they are reintroducing new heroes in the ones starting from next year.
I saw that.
New.
Yeah.
So wait, sorry.
Completely
new hero?
new.
Yeah, instead of doing like Dust Till Dawn.
Okay.
Like
Are
here's
they
the
bringing-
replacement for Briar.
are they-
That's
are
okay,
they-
Yeah.
Are they new heroes, or are they new heroes or old heroes?
We already have new,
revamped?
so not a new.
Yeah.
So Banocracy means
So we don't know. Most likely it'll be retrains for like reintroducing like elemental. So you don't
Gotcha,
want to do
okay.
like another elemental set, right?
yeah.
You don't want to have a whole nother Tales of Aria.
No.
Right.
So you,
Yeah. Well, I
you
think-
can put a new elemental.
I think
blade in
The
there.
biggest
Yeah.
problem that I'm having, going back to the original question of the errata stuff like that, is that there's certain cards that are limited to a very specific hero.
Yeah.
And once that hero is now LL'd, you can't play those cards at all. Like the elemental cards, like Oldham
Yep.
and Lexi are gone, and Briar's gone. These cards are now dead. You cannot play them in Classic Construct. You can play them in Living Legends, whatever. Dromai being the most recent LL hero, her dragons are useless.
Oh no!
You cannot play them.
Yeah.
And
Hate to see that.
and
Wow.
one of the benefits of, I think, Flesh and Blood that is over Magic is the fact that a lot of cards are eternal. They can be played constantly, especially the more expensive ones. And I know plenty of people who got these Marvel Dragons or super cold foil ones that they cannot play anymore because they don't like Living Legends. They cannot go out and do this. So now they're just sitting on what used to be thousands of dollars, which is probably now not worth anything because who wants to buy them?
I mean, they'll come back. I mean, that's
So-
like we
But
have
that's the
prison
thing.
and
We
Vincent
have
now,
to
right?
wait for them to come back.
Yeah.
I think that's a problem.
So I think from what they've said before in previous interviews, their intention is that anything that's talented
Mhm.
will rotate in and out of constructed, but they always will rotate back eventually. And they'll just have certain playstyles that are limited to the talented cards take a break every now and then because nobody wants Icelander for 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Why
There's,
not?
I got,
actually really
I got two people right here that
Like, I
would
enjoy
love it.
playing it.
I
Yeah.
would love Icelander again.
I'm I guess
Yeah.
I've left for
3.
I don't know. I'm like
Yeah.
prison. Yeah. I said, yeah. Something.
Yeah,
I think I want a puzzle to solve.
That's their intention, which
Sure.
is
I think the intention is good, and this is me coming as a newer player to the game. Really focusing on all the nuances in it,
Mhm.
and I think overall, Flesh and Blood has done an amazing job in the players' investments into the game.
Yep.
Like I invested $1,000 in the game, my investment's still worth roughly around that. When we played Magic, I remember Baneslayer Angels and Jace the Mind Sculptor were two of the biggest ones. I dropped hundreds and hundreds of dollars in these cards.
Okay, Grandpa.
Baneslayer Angels now worth
Grandpa.
40 cents or something like that. I think we recently ripped them in half because we were just so frustrated. And we paid $70, $80 for these cards at the time. And that I think is a huge benefit to this card game versus a lot of other ones, is there isn't that large rotation factor
Yep.
every couple of sets and things like that.
Yeah.
And even then, like with the Living Legend, which is like Legacy and Vintage, you get to still play the older cards. They're just not going to be as valuable. So it depends on if you're a collector versus somebody who wants to make money off the game, like Austin, who really likes to
get gold foils, yeah.
get the gold foils.
Gold foil Code of Frost.
Likes to win.
Code of Frost.
Oh.
Code of Frost.
Uh,
Code of Frost.
We hate that.
So, again, I think that would be the big thing that I would like to see, because again, I don't know when that's going to happen,
Mhm.
right? They are, and sure, that could be a good thing or a bad thing, but like we still don't know what the elemental cards are going to do in a couple of months, right? So,
Cool. Anybody want anything else to add? I know we kind of drifted it off from
Off
our.
tangent on the Ice Center.
Yeah.
Something that Peter, or one of our teammates, has mentioned is like, how badly would any of the LL heroes trounce this current format? Like all of them.
Oh, Starfall
I-
100% would.
I think every
Well,
single
but even
LL
Icelander
is
or,
the
like,
best deck
yeah.
in this format.
Oldham, like all those would like just
I think so, yeah. I think.
I think Oldham might struggle with Enigma, but that's like it.
Well, she's not out yet.
Sorry, this current one, sure.
Oldham will struggle with Prism, though.
I think Oldham's probably better into Prism than Victor is because he is
so-
able to take advantage of time skippers better.
Sure.
Weirdly enough.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
you bring Icelander, and it's like, here's one frostbite, and you're like, wow, I don't do anything.
Mine on.
Yeah.
I'm ruined.
It's true. Okay, cool. We'll go ahead and wrap this up then.
Okay.
Anything else? Anybody want to add?
No, thank you for the mixture.
No, thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you.
Appreciate that.
Inviting us.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Appreciate what you guys do.
A lot of fun.
Thanks for coming over. Like, comment, and subscribe. If you want more content like this, we'll do it anyway.
Just an excuse for us to get together and drink.
Yeah, we basically.
Yeah.
Also, again, if you want to ask questions that Franche can ask us or them, whoever your guests are.
Yeah. If you guys have any questions,
France.
any questions for Metal Fab tokens, you can direct it to their press email, I guess.
Pressing it.
At Majin Bay on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Mac-based letters.
Please
yeah.
don't do that.
At no fab tokens on Twitter.
At no
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah. This podcast talk show is sponsored by Metal Fab Tokens.
Yeah.
That's an
Endorsed
There you go.
and approved. Every single bit of content in here is approved by Metal Fab Tokens.
Some of the stuff I said, probably not.
I think this part would have. But I mean, it's rejected alcohol, so maybe not.
Yeah.